football.
Cat Pop, we gotta get these dishes installed in a matrix by 2 o'clock.
We're going to be able to watch every game in the country.
So let me get this straight. You'd rather watch a football game than actually play one?
That's right.
You bet.
It's much safer. Great.
Wow! I think it was Steel in the Power Rangers movie in a drive-in double theater.
This is wow, Elston. This is not a good way to start out TalkRadar 108.
Wow, you're going to start with that?
I am, because there is going to be a, I want to say, a real treat for children of the 80s and 90s later on. I don't want to say what it is yet, because I want to surprise you guys.
Okay.
My name is Christopher Antista.
I don't believe you.
Wow.
Anybody else want to go?
I'm Brett Elston.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm Michael Raparis.
Wow.
I'm Charles Barrett.
Charlie.
Charlie.
Surprise, Charlie. I'm just kidding. You were the last. Whoever was last, I was going to do that too. It's nothing personal. I've been giving Charlie shit all day that this is his second appearance in a year.
That's not true.
It technically is for the numbered cast.
But yeah, that TalkRadar E3 is still TalkRadar.
That was a joint cast between KOXM.
So I've been on 3 TalkRadars plus KOXM.
All right, see, look at this. This is how you fudge numbers. Oh, you know who we saw at E3? Did we mention that we saw Shane Patterson?
I gave Shane Patterson a very manly hug.
He wanted to pass along his love to all of you and sent me this message specifically for all TDars.
What's that smell?
No one remembers No Holds Barred.
I thought that was actually Shane.
No, yeah, it was. He was the one saying Dookie, being held up by Hulk Hogan and shaken.
What's that smell?
God, I did see that in the theater as a child.
You did?
Yes.
It's still not on DVD. Yeah.
Well, I could recite none of it.
It's not very kind to its fans, the audience the movie was intended for. Every wrestling fan is portrayed like a moron, like a shirtless overall wearing.
So it's like Ready to Rumble.
Ready to Rumble?
That movie.
Oh,
with,
yeah. David Arquette.
David Arquette. Great film.
Video games, we're back. We have all that. We have some audio to explore, but this is a good one. This is we have a feature presentation that Charlie Barrett put together.
Oh.
Wrangled, right?
I wrote the introduction.
What are we talking about here? Go ahead, Charlie. You remember how to do this.
All right. We're talking about a top 7.
Oh, yes, we are.
There's 7 of them.
Mm-hmm. There's 7 of them.
And it's the best games of 2010.
Woo! ...
or parentheses if you prefer. So far.
So far.
I remember like the on the site the word far dropped down to the second line, and I asked Tech, is there any way to make it so that it drops down somewhere else? He's like, you can just get rid of so far, right? And I'm like, that changes everything.
That's the point of the article.
God, I'll have to change the date at the end of the article the next year.
Hopefully it'll just all last. And
so the idea is,
do you really need the headline at all?
The first,
yeah, I can just put the top 7 ... and fill in the blank.
Yeah.
Look at these 7 games, and you figure out what they're the best 7
Can it
of.
just be top 7 for week of? ...
I like that this isn't a top 7 of, like, according to Metacritic and everybody else, the top 7 scoring games.
Right, that would be very different if I did the Metacritic ordering, and it was very different than our ordering. But I wanted to make sure we got.
I saw you added that. Like Super Street Fighter would have been there.
Yeah,
probably.
Super Street Fighter I think would have been in there. The order would have been different. Definitely would have been a different number 1, a different number 2.
But it would have been number 1.
Maybe we should reveal that when we get to number 1.
Maybe. All right, let's go to number 7. Number 7
of the top 7 things.
Yes.
Is somebody else will have to talk about this game because I'm not a huge fan. But we gave it a 10, and a lot of people in the office are a huge fan. And this is the Games Radar's top 7 best games of 2010 so far. So it's Bayonetta.
Clip. Okay, that's an old.
This is one of those games that I loved it while I was playing it, but I have absolutely no interest in ever going back and playing it again.
I have interest in playing another one.
I do find myself, even though my opinion on this is well documented, but pretty much hated the entire experience of playing it for reasons we've gone over. But every time I see screens of it, I'm like, God damn it! I must have been just in a shitty mood or something. And then every time I get convinced, tonight when I go home and play it, I'll enjoy it. Fuck! I hate this. And even now, when I'm looking at these screens, I'm like, no. That was so flashy and cool and ridiculous and
I play a lot of games every year, and I still have fond memories.
Yeah, like
fond memories. I played greater games with that I don't have fond memories of.
True.
Like I don't have fond memories of the Halo 3 campaign. Not that I don't remember certain things being great, but like I remember my whole experience with Bayonetta being very fun.
Yeah,
this game's just not made for me. I don't like the Devil May Cry and God of War type games. Oh man, but I do like God of War, so that doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense at all.
It does make sense. They're different kinds of games.
You're conflicted.
Yeah, they're not just both beat 'em ups. This is a very almost twitchy, very skill based, very relentless kind of action game. And God of War is, if you play it, you'll beat it.
It demands you play it over and over again.
It's not going to taunt you at the end of every level with a spinning stone guy.
Oh, what a day!
God.
Ow.
The thing I couldn't even I already was turning against the game before it even started, just for the 15-minute long introduction cutscene, like Joe Pesci hiding behind a gravestone.
Love it. Fry me to the moon.
Fry me to the moon.
We should probably talk about why it's a good game, since it's number 7 on the top 7.
We did.
Oh, that's right. You guys said you liked it.
Yeah. You didn't.
I mean,
I
loved
wearing glasses. That's cute.
I loved all the homages to classic Sega games. I loved just her character design. That she is overtly sexualized, but I felt in an empowering, I don't know, she wasn't slutting it up to me. It was just kind of like, I'm a woman and I'm just going to throw it everywhere.
That reminds me when I was trying to pick out screenshots for this entry, because this entry is written by somebody in the UK. It's by Nathan Irvine gave the game a 10. And so I wrote to him, he's like, oh, would you like to write this entry? He's like, oh, no. Justin Towell loves this game on a level even I can't imagine or understand.
Towell loves it more than her.
You gave it a 10, so...
Wow.
Yeah, and when I went home in May, my friend Jim, same way, he beat every difficulty, all achievements, everything for this game. It was the best fighting game, best masher, brawler combo,
beat 'em up.
Maximizing witch time and getting these perfect runs of every level, and I'm like, I went through it once and couldn't have hated it more, honestly, but... I understand.
It's a real hate. It's a real hate.
I didn't enjoy playing it at all.
I know for a fact Justin Towell loves this game more than God of War 3 or God of War in general.
I know I sent one. Who did I send one to?
But I would play the next one.
He's just like, I just traded that in. I never played it.
Oh.
I didn't like it.
But something about it. I definitely will play the next one, and I won't enjoy it either, but it's just an experience. I love the experience of playing it rather than playing it. It was so memorable.
Before we move on, I was talking about going through the screenshots, trying to pick out screenshots for this entry, and talking about empowering her as a sexualized woman. One of the screenshots I went through, I was like, wait, what was that? I don't even understand why I was just looking at it. It was literally, this is a screenshot from the company where the camera is just underneath her crotch.
Yeah.
Facing up. You can just see, you can't see her head, her face, hands. It's just crotch and boobs. That's all that's in the shot.
It's not even one step from a porn shot. It really is just a porn shot.
It is sexy.
Yeah.
All right, that was Bayonetta.
Even better.
Oh, what a lovely tea party.
Number 6.
You jerk off and I'll watch.
Okay.
This is probably one of the more... This is probably more controversial. This definitely would not make the list if you were going by Metacritic.
What's
But
that?
a lot of people at Games Radar like it. Final Fantasy 13.
Yeah.
A lot of people at Games Radar love it.
It wouldn't have made the list if you asked me either.
I don't
Did you
know.
play to the 3rd or the 4th save point?
I played to probably the 6th or 7th.
Oh,
that sucks.
I got past the first boss.
That's
If
like
you would have
reading
played
the first
to the
chapter.
45th, you could have learned the battle system.
Yeah. No, I understand. It is a slow ass burn, like a 17-hour burn to get to the point. But
well, not the I made it. What was it? The Pulse Fall Sea, the one that curses them all. And
Yeah.
then you go to the
Sea.
ice world. That's about as far as I made it.
that's not ice,
Wow.
man. That's crystal.
Whatever. I don't
They
care.
were waves. They
I
were
remember,
wa-
Chris, you...
That was
loving
such
it
a
for
cool area.
Most of the experience. I remember you...
I did.
And I
But
think
like,
you suddenly soured at the end.
no, I did. Well, the ending I thought was a bit of a letdown. In fact,
It has like a fake ending and then a real ending.
It has
and-
it has every ending possible,
Yeah.
and then just decides on the one it wants and leaves that ambiguous, leaving it open to sequels. And
So
this and
it's kind of like Return of the King then, or it's
that. Yes, a little. Well, a little
No.
bit, except that there's not going to be a sequel to Return of the King. I know there's going to be a sequel. All of these characters will come back. in
Return
some
of the King
fashion.
was not an ending to one movie. It was an ending to 3 movies altogether. That's why there's...
No,
All right.
it was 12 endings to
boys,
3
boys,
movies.
boys. This is about. What were
About
we talking
Final
about?
Fantasy
Final Fantasy 13.
No, I put it I think right at 60 hours into it. It's true that none of the characters are particularly well fleshed out. I don't feel I know much about any of them. Like I know Zaz has a son named Dodge.
Here, I have a Zaz sound clip.
Oh, hell no!
That's racist.
I got it from the same file. Same voice actor.
I thought that was real. And I was like, why do you guys like this
Same voice
game?
actor.
That's not him. That's not him. But no, I love the battle system. There was a lot of like, oh, you're not in control. It's when it's actually maybe the most tactic based, like of the numbered entries. Like I loved every fight. Some of the bosses
you
were
get
just
to Grand Pulse, like it becomes the game you sort of wanted.
And
I never wanted to leave.
And like in this entry, it talks about the polish, just and how beautiful it is, and how and so the fact that we're playing games like Red Dead that have tons of glitches, and I'm playing a game right now so I can't talk about that has some really bad textures in it, and to see a game like this where like everything looks perfectly placed and beautiful.
Everything looks pristine, and a lot of people, you can do this thing where you move a character up into the corner and move the camera around so the camera gets stuck between the character and the wall, and you can see a close-up, like the camera zips in between you, and you can move it to where you can get really tight shots of these characters' faces, and they just look amazing.
I had a lot of difficulty telling between cutscenes and the cutscenes that were pre-rendered.
Right.
I really did, and I think I was always shocked. I'm like, oh, that's what CG, full CG looks like. I was very confused.
Yeah, and I thought the music was great.
Music is wonderful.
It's as an RPG, the music was good. The battle system was fantastic. That's like 60% of the score right there. It's just it takes a long time to give you the entire battle system, and
it's just one of those.
The story does take about 20 hours to get to the point where you're like, oh, that's actually a really cool twist, and now I understand why we've been running and what's going on. But you are in the dark for like half the game.
Yeah, it's one of those games I can't recommend to anybody
Yeah.
who asks for because I don't have to recommend the game to a majority of the people who already bought it. I don't recommend it to anybody. Number 5.
Oh, I reviewed this game.
I still haven't played this, sadly.
Yes,
or as I like to call
it,
Bomberman Act 02.
Yeah, I put that bomber art in there again.
God.
I think a lot of people disagree with this one too, but I'll stand by it.
This is another
BioShock
one
2 is as good as the first one.
It's a divisive one because
one of the commenters was like, I don't understand all the love for BioShock 2. Of course, I haven't finished it yet. I'm like, well, that's like even if you. A lot of people say that when they've only gotten to halfway through the game, but this game in particular, you have to finish it. It gets better and better as it goes along, and the final 2 levels are the best, and they're what seal the deal for the game.
It never drags. It never drags, really.
I thought Siren Alley dragged a bit.
Don't even know what that is.
It's like you go into it expecting like the same sweeping statement about video games that the first one was. You're going to be disappointed, but if you just go in and you want a really good adventure with compelling characters and an interesting world, then it's fantastic.
I liked that they didn't try to repeat that. They didn't do an M. Night and like I've got to get another twist into this one. It's more just going to be like, oh, I feel much more attached to these characters, and it's going to be about different themes. But we're not going to flip the entire genre over on you halfway through the game.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
But the multiplayer factored into there nowhere.
Nowhere.
Just like it didn't factor into the review at all. It didn't factor into this entry.
Into the game itself.
Yeah.
Some people seem to like it.
Some people can't afford new games.
That's true.
BioShock 2.
Some people like other people.
You always save me from monsters.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
I think it's pretty impressive. Like we're only 3 entries in, and we've already had Final Fantasy, BioShock, Bayonetta, and this is just the first half of this year.
Go ahead, Els. Get it all out.
The thing about Little Sisters, like I'm at a point now where like I was almost like with BioShock 2 especially, I was like, they're really just gonna cop, and it's something I'm actually a little afraid with Portal 2. That now that they're so aware of what was the standout character, well, the Little Sisters. And so they had the Little Sisters walk around doing Little Sister things and saying Little Sister. That sounds like something a Little Sister would say, like, you daddy, you always protect, because that sounds like a creepy thing a kid would say in a slasher movie.
Stop fighting.
And then
but what about this line from the Little Sister?
She grew up just like her mom. But then I'm afraid Portal 2 will do the same thing, where they're going to have GLaDOS come out and just say intentionally silly things because that's what you're expected to do. And I was afraid that it would kind of cheapen it, but judging by the reviews and why it's on this list, that didn't really happen.
No. And you also find out more about Little Sisters.
Yeah.
They're not just used again like, hey, it's Jason again. He's got a hockey mask.
Right.
I didn't think.
I don't think
after
they cheapened
playing
it at all.
I didn't it seemed that everybody was arguing that the greatest thing about BioShock was simply the fact that it was a trailblazing game. Like that didn't like the environments and the characters and the setting didn't deserve revisitation. I think is a little silly, and I had a good time with it. I think we should end the BioShock conversation.
Go for it.
Wow.
Number four.
Number
Kratos,
4.
you
Michael
can
should
still
probably
share
talk
my-
about.
Stop talking over my sound effects.
Kratos.
Michael should talk
you can
about.
Charlie Bird!
Kratos.
Well, he's got a good point.
God!
You want to try one more time?
Angrily hit stuff for a while. Fuck it, we're going into game deals.
Oh, man, yes, we're getting out here early today.
Wow, we're done. We're almost done.
Fuck it.
Come on, we'll try it one more time.
All right.
Kratos.
I should talk
You
about
can
it.
still
I knew I was like, I knew I didn't have to do it that time. I knew Michael was ready.
I don't even want to. This turned out better than the sound effect.
That's true.
Let's keep going.
Yeah, so God of War 3. I played this months ago and barely remember it. But
Sounds like a memorable game.
it is. It was
got a
fantastic.
3 at the end,
Well, I was
so.
running through it though. I mean, it was the biggest God of War yet, which is saying quite a bit because God of War is always a series known for really huge fucking spectacle. It had some of the most memorable beatdowns and executions that the series has had so far, and it was just hugely fun. I mean, for anyone but Brett and Charlie who played it, it was a great game.
I've this year finally played God of War 1 and 2.
Yeah, I'm trying to play
And
through
you,
1
you
and 2
don't like
first.
them?
I do like
He
them.
does.
Oh, okay. I thought you
no.
said you didn't.
We both started going through
I
1
get
and
really
2.
frustrated at them, and then
really?
by the end I'm like, I'm glad I played that, but during them I get really upset.
Are you playing them on hard or something?
No, I'm just playing
Because
on
Really?
I don't know. I've always found them really easy to just smash through. That's
I'm not
part of their
getting through
appeal
them
for
pretty
me.
quickly, but sometimes the game design annoys me, especially that in the first game where you have to climb that tower of
Yeah,
spikes.
a lot-
That's the
a
most
lot of
annoying thing
people-
I've ever done in a game.
A lot of people seem to have a problem with the platforming. It's never bothered
Oh yeah,
me.
I hate going to Hades, and knowing that I have to go back again in God of War 3 makes me keep putting it off. It's like, oh, more lava and platforming over lava.
I've never had a problem with it. The thing is, you go back to Hades and you spend a pretty big chunk of time there, but it's different than how it was before. It's not so much lava as just like these big empty caverns, and
But I like it. I like it a lot more than Bayonetta.
yeah, so do I.
That's good. Then.
Are we agreeing?
I'm glad I was gonna have to go
I'm glad
into
this
the
is so-
CMS and quickly
this is
edit
such
the article.
scintillating conversation here. Yeah, it's good.
I'm just
yeah,
waiting to hit
like
myself.
no, I like it too.
I like
it.
cake.
Yeah,
It's just something like
It's
if
a
I
good
could maybe
game, I
take
like it.
I don't know.
I like it, Brett.
It's just a lose-lose for me. Like
I
I don't
like it.
I don't like. I don't
Brett's
like
wearing
it.
a blue
And
T-shirt.
we'll just yell at you. So don't. Do you really want to go into
I
it?
don't give a fuck.
Brett, why don't you just play the game?
I did
Play it!
I did play one.
Play it better.
I
He
didn't
hasn't
like
played
it.
this.
Play it harder.
He hasn't played this or Bioshock 2. This page is like.
Yeah.
It's
No,
like
I don't have
kryptonite
anything
garlic
bad
to
to say
him.
about Bioshock 2 at all, other
No.
than
Play it
it's
and
probably
see
a
the,
stupid game for losers.
They don't care. You don't care enough about the franchise to take away
I beat the
10,
first
15
one.
hours to play it.
I beat
mean,
the
the
first
You'd rather get
Poseidon-
10, 15 more hours of Super Street Fighter 4.
The Poseidon
yeah.
beatdown, which you see from his perspective, is kind of amazing.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, God of War 3 is very good about... Well, God of War in general is good about spectacle, and that's
Yeah.
what is enticing me to play 3, because it sounds, and the videos I've watched look really large and impressive, and something that kind of shames anything that's had to fight. Here's a big boss for you to fight. So I really want to see that, but I don't want to play just 3. I want to go all the way through 1 and 2.
And it's not hard to do.
But what I did to 1, I got halfway, and I'm like, I just am not enjoying. It's just boring to me. It's just
I like-
literally mashing on buttons.
I
I don't
enjoy-
care how mad he
Well,
is.
there's
I enjoyed
more skill
2.
to it.
There is
than
more
that.
skill than that, sweetie.
But I enjoyed
that's
2 a lot more
that-
than 1, though, so maybe if you just get through 1.
And then, now that there's trophies, you can see that there's more skill than that.
There's-
You're awarded for doing certain combos and doing a certain
Oh
amount of
man,
things.
pushing triangle.
That-
And Kratos is the most
Triangle
well-developed
and
character in
square.
gaming history.
Thank you.
Triangle,
Why do you do
square.
this?
I don't know.
Look,
Look, I'll.
I phoned up Kratos to ask if he would star in one more game.
I have no time for games.
Number 3.
Not even Farmville?
How did you find that clip where he said the word game?
No idea. No idea.
Now number 3. Well.
Oh, this is the one
three.
that's
Oh,
great.
man.
It's definitely not Mass Effect 2, because that game sucks.
Oh dear.
Mass Effect 2? I
That's
don't know why
definitely not
this is
Mass
the only Mass Effect sound effect I found.
I am the very model of a scientist Solarian. I've studied
think this sums it up.
and Vegetarian. I'm quite good at genetics as a
This and a
subset of
Jetson sound
biology
effect.
because I am an expert, which I know is a tautology.
I mean, basically, it's just the whole game is just listening to this guy talk.
Yeah,
And
pretty much.
I don't know why people are saying it's like, oh, this should have been number 1. It shouldn't have even been on the list.
You better
It
start
shouldn't have
singing.
even been released.
No.
Yeah. Well, that's all.
It's such a broken, glitchy state. Yeah,
Moving on to number 2.
Oh well.
I almost.
Oh well.
Number 2. Do you really want to go to number 2?
But I will say this, like Michael said, this is the game that the most comments are saying that this was their number 1 game.
Yeah, I can see that, but like, I don't know. It's the same thing I have with the next, like almost all the lists.
I would flip what we have as number 3 and number 2 for me, for sure. But we'll get to that.
But if I did that, Henry would have murdered me in my sleep.
I would have murdered Henry before he murdered you.
Number 2 is...
quicker than
I didn't get to say anything about Mass Effect.
Because we haven't played it. There's no conversation.
We haven't played it.
Have you played it?
I've played it, yeah.
Oh, my bad.
No, I was lying. Not lying, but fibbing.
Fibbing? About playing it or not playing it?
About saying it's just that one guy. I was just talking shit for the sake
No,
of
I
talking
know.
shit.
Michael's favorite game of all
No,
time.
I played through it.
I don't have a great deal to say about it because I haven't finished it.
Michael, you have to choose. It's either your favorite game of all time or the worst game of all time.
It's true.
Can it just be the game of all time?
The game.
It's a game of all
It's
time.
the of all time.
It is a game of all time.
It's not fair, but when you were talking about this, I looked at Mass Effect 2 as a chapter in a whole.
Yeah.
And so, like, we all know 2 is going to be... It's like the same way I know 3 is going to be, like, on the list once we do this again.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that needed to be corrected for Mass Effect 1. It sounds, like they did it.
No,
yeah, they
to
did.
me, my whole rationale for this was they took a game that was already like a very high 9 to me. Like I could understand not giving the first one a 10 for various reasons, but I couldn't have loved it anymore. 2, to me, fixed every problem the first one had. Nothing comes to mind that I was like, oh, they didn't fix this, except for like you could say some of the wax faces of some of the people like
Gay sex.
don't emote enough. That's not in the game. You're trying to break me, Chris.
That's what I'm saying. We didn't address that.
I'm laser focused.
That's not what Fox News told me.
Talking about Mass Effect 2. That's alien sex. That's different.
I want to have sex with E.T.
Why do you think gay people are aliens?
What? No, E.T.'s just gay. He's just a gay alien. He's not all aliens. I didn't say that. Don't put words in my mouth. I did not say that.
I think that's a transitive property.
I didn't even imply that. Oh my
God.
Oh my God.
All gays are aliens.
All right. No. To the audience, I'm very sorry.
That was the best Fox News impression I've ever heard.
Mass Effect 2.
That's about it. To me, the biggest thing they improved was they put a big focus on the characters.
Oh, Henry's upset.
Oh, Henry
knows what number 2 is. He's mad it's not number 1.
He can toss off. He'll be here later to hear me say that to his face.
What else is great about Mass Effect 2?
Well, just like the environments, like Charlie can... or a robot elephant.
Yeah.
No, there were robots. No elephants. That was the Connect event.
Oh, goodness.
No,
what can I do?
Like all the side quests of the first one and the worlds of the first one. Other than the Citadel, like it didn't feel like anything was really fleshed out, and all the side quests were repeating the same cave, the same box building. This like
even some of the main planets you went to had good concepts. Like this is the icy planet, but you were still going through big open, blocky environments. It looked like they were on an old PC game.
And 2 to me just doesn't feel like that at all. There's much more. You go to a lot more different types of planets. It may be only for one mission, but it feels different, and the effort put into each of them is much stronger. Instead of yes, it is. Like I specifically call out. There's a bar you go to very early on, a club called Afterlife, and it's like it's such a. I wish I had a better, less overused word than atmospheric, but it's the most atmospheric bar club thing I've ever been in a game where I was like, this looks like it's from Blade Runner or from a feature level thing where they thought this out. There's like smoke wafting and fog wafting through the air. People are like talking and smoking and drinking, and it's just amazing. Like the
thing that excites me about someday finishing the game and playing all the way through it is that in the first game there's all these fascinating characters, and then not all of them have their own missions, and some of their missions are like Rex wants you to go get his family armor, and you just fight the same generic thing. It's like
they're very plain,
and there's an item box that says you found his armor, and it text to saying Rex shed a tear. It's like this game. It sounds like you actually go and you get to know each of your cast members, and we're all great.
You talk like it's the actual plot of the game is like there's a villain. You found the villain. Go get him. And that's it. Like, there's nothing in between other than solving all these problems of your characters. And it's such an intensely personal thing. And they still don't let you see Tally's face, which pissed me off to no end.
Spoilers.
They're going to save that for the fucking end. Like, that'll be the last scene of Mass Effect 3. They're going to show her face.
Surprise, she's gay E.T.
Fuck that game and its stupid face. All right, let's move on. I'm sorry, Chris, you can't talk about a game, so no one can.
This is more important. I just opened my bag. How long how long?
Did you find an old banana in there?
What's the limit on eating pizza that hasn't been refrigerated?
There's pizza in your bag?
Yes.
Let me see it.
From last night.
I
don't want to open it again because it's a strong smell.
Last night, it's probably fine.
Last night?
What's on it?
That's the thing. It's Indian pizza. So curry, spinach, lentils, cauliflower.
Those are all magical
and
Indian
garlic.
ingredients.
You not been to that Z pizza place, the Indian pizza place? It's really good.
No, I haven't. I'm
really
sure
good.
all of our listeners are going to go there now.
It's really good. Yes. So it's still good.
So pizza's number 2.
Watch this.
As long as we're going off on,
but this is important.
As long as we're going off on non sequiturs, I just like to say.
What's that, Michael?
Metacritic is listing my review in OXM for Shrek Forever After as being 80. It was 6. I gave it a 6. I just want to make that clear. That's their mistake, not mine.
That really throws off my Pixar versus DreamWorks article because there were like 4 reviews for that, and that one like elevated it.
Well, this just got published, so I'm sure.
Oh goodness!
It's your own fault for giving Shrek anything above a 5.
There's a lot. There's a lot to work out. Are we on number 2?
Number 2 can be.
We have a guy we know at Metacritic. We can email him and tell him.
Yeah, that guy's very responsive.
Number 2, Super Mario Galaxy 2. I love that sound.
Fucking love that sound. Hungry ass Luma.
I thought this was going to be number 1, and then I actually started talking to some of you people, some of you guys, and you guys didn't love it as much as I thought everybody loved it.
It's not that I didn't love it, and it's again, it's the same thing I hold against Mass Effect, and it's not necessarily fair, but like the wind wasn't put in my sails by a great sequel to a great game.
It is always more like Batman last year. It's always very tempting to give it to an original IP that surprised us and blew us away.
I was hoping to see that, but then I felt bad. Like fuck, this whole list is sequels except for 1.5 games.
Number 7 and number 1.
Number 1 and yeah, I'm not sure how many non-sequels
Galaxy
I played.
2 to me, like for me, why I would have put it at 3 is because it is like 1.5 game. It's not a 2. It's mostly the same. Hey, it's Yoshi, and even a lot of the music is recycled, and a lot of the ideas are recycled. But it's still a fantastically made game. There's been a few levels. I think I'm in the 60-star range now. I'm still playing through it, but there's some levels that I'm like blown away, where I'm like, yeah, that was me. And I'm like, how did they even conceive this level design? Like, it's true brilliance, and it's like fun to play a game that just wants to be a game. It doesn't want to tell a story. It doesn't want to get you with achievements. It
just want to design levels with which you can play.
That you can run around. And that's a very liberating sensation.
Henry wrote this entry, and like when he sent me his entry, there was like a 300-word paragraph that was just listing. And then there's this, and then there's fire and ice worlds that are together, and you jump from one thing to another, and this, and there's a spring, and there's a drill.
Oh, the spring suit's one of the best things that ever happened to
He may have not mentioned springs. It was just a huge long list separated by commas of like this. They're all new and neat.
But it also reminded me of like things I didn't like about the first Galaxy and the like,
spring suit.
The spring suit, and this one is even like this problem. My biggest problem I think with the game, other than they messed with his fucking triple jump, which I won't bother about that. He just doesn't handle the same as he did in 64 and Sunshine. So Galaxy has this weird there's a move he has that he hasn't had in either Galaxy game. It's pissing me off.
Which one's that? The quick turnaround or the?
No, he has the quick turnaround.
The duck jump.
No, he has the duck.
The high jump.
He has the high jump, but he doesn't have in Mario 64.
The side slide jump.
That like. You jump and then you hit A again in the air and he dives forward just a little bit. You could save your ass a couple times. Now you shake the remote to ruin your jump and spin in the air.
I use that spin move all the time.
No, you have to. You have to because the levels are designed that you
need. Except for the unbelievably hard levels where you're not allowed. And
I mean, so Super Mario Galaxy 1 wasn't a 10 for you then?
Not to me.
Because for me, it was definitely a 10. I waited a long time to play, and when I played, I was like, this is amazing.
I think the game was definitely a 10.
To me, I would go a 9 for sure. Like, I don't think it was. I thought it was an excellent game. I
love it. And it was the only game I played on Wii where I was like, I'm actually really enjoying using these Wii controls. Sometimes I'm having fun, and sometimes I'm just relaxing and not even noticing that I'm holding them.
Yeah, I don't want to sell it short at all because I definitely enjoyed 1, and I'm still enjoying 2. But I think my biggest problem is like, it's such a fleeting experience because Mario 64 and Sunshine were both like. There's only, say, 12 worlds, period, and then you get 6 stars in each world, or whatever the number is. And when the time is over, you're like, I know that level inside and out. And they had to take time and make this cool area, and I got a bunch of stars in it, and it was really fun.
Discover new shit.
And just, find new ways.
I got through almost the whole game perfect with no guide.
Yeah, there's no reason. Like, all the stars
not
are
much
like...
to discover.
They had to design, like, here's a new Flipside Galaxy, 2 stars in it. You literally designed this place. There's 2 things in it, and it was a really cool level. And like, why wouldn't you made it just a little bit bigger? Put 4 stars in it, and like, I don't know. You're in and out of these worlds so quickly that even now I'm like, what was that cool stage I played? I don't know because there was only 1 star in it.
That's what I love about it. Like, there's just so much imagination on display. It's like, bam, 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 bam. Like, we just got all these ideas.
I know, but then I don't remember any of them when they're over. Whereas I can tell you every level of Mario 64 in order because I spent so much time there.
But it's also
because it was younger in your childhood and
I was 16.
It's a more linear experience,
still childhood,
which in a way is more Mario, but it's less Mario 64.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to sell it short, but like to me, Mass Effect 2 was a vastly improved sequel that just fixed a bunch, expanded on a bunch.
Did I mention that? Like, I hate
crazy good game, and this was like, hey, here's more. It's still excellent, but
it's uncharacteristically hard for a fucking Nintendo game. Like, I have 116 stars. I'm at the World S, the prankster comics, which are deliberately mean.
Yeah.
I believe I described it as they'll cut holes in your dick,
right?
Turn your dick into a fucking pan flute, and then you die. Literally, like 2 hours. In a Mario game, I'm spending getting 1 star.
Yeah.
Failing over and over again. It's just fucking hard, and sometimes you need to get lucky.
I quit the first Mario Galaxy like 2 stars short because I was like I watched the video of Brett doing on games where I'm like, I'm never gonna do that. That looks horrible.
That level was
the falling tiles.
That's not the worst part about it. Is that they require that kind of replaying, and then that fucking fat ass star tells me you've been playing too long. Why don't you shut the game off for a while? Like, I don't have a heart condition yet.
Yeah, you've been through a lot, buddy.
You've been through a lot. Why don't you put it down and take a break?
There was a level.
What fucking game tells me to shut it off?
Do you remember this one? There's a level.
There's a 5-minute tutorial on how to unplug the Wii Motion Plus thing.
Here's how to open your door, walk outside. That's the sun you see.
Get your breath down to 8 breaths a minute.
6-page fact on how to go fuck yourself.
Make sure you can find the power switch. Here's a picture.
Do you remember the level with it's a golden chain chomp rolling on a track, and you have to guide it and jump on these platforms to lower it? There's a prankster comet version with the purple coins on it or something.
I got it with the fucking decoy Mario.
Yeah, the decoy Mario is chasing
fucking
you.
terrible.
So
terrible.
I came within. If I had a meter, it was 1 segment short of me throwing a remote through the television.
Mine was the trash person. You need to get rid of all these boxes.
Oh, those guys were in Mario, the first one too.
There's like
it's all the same stuff.
The last one you'll encounter is so fucking hard and ridiculous. You just have to get lucky.
Can you make me a list of the ones I should just skip without even trying?
No.
How do you even trigger those levels?
But what I
got some work for you. Come back.
What I do recommend is like I said when I played it with 2 players and like my girlfriend. She can hold the other Wii remote, and she can literally hold platforms in place for you. She can hold off enemies. She can keep things from moving. She can leave things open. But
then how is she going to get all the star bits? That's what she's supposed to be doing, is getting the star bits.
The star bits. I got to a point where
get back in the star bit.
I've never experienced that kind of wealth. Like I just don't care anymore. I don't need star bits. Everything is open.
I always want to eat the star bits. They're like delicious candy.
Then you fucking give them a toad, and he's like, "I'll hold it here with interest." Get back and like
you got 6 extra stars for 10,000. I promise I'm not Gonzo.
10,000 stars earned me 0.06%. Fuck you guys, everybody. Good God, number one.
Oh no! I got to say one thing about this one. First of all, this is the one. This is the one that, according to Metacritic and every other site in the industry, would be number 1.
Yeah,
it has like a 98 on Metacritic, and when I was at one point counting all of the
go.
One point counting all of the mentions of Game of the Year or people that gave it a perfect score, and this one had like 40 perfect scores across Metacritic compared to 30 for Mass Effect 2.
No more. Number 1, we got to go. The fucking hard drive's about to eat up itself. Number 1 is Red Dead Redemption. Sorry, we don't have a lot of time to talk about it, but the computer's about to crash, and we're about to lose the entire file.
Maybe we should save then.
Maybe we should save. Maybe we should, but it's going to require me to talk about it now. Be quick about it.
It's a good game.
This is a real problem. Hi, everybody. We had to stop tape so we could delete things and create stuff on the hard drive. And Charlie and I switched places so I can run out of the room
I'm in control of the podcast now.
And we can give it its proper intro. Number 1 is
Number 1.
Red Dead Redemption.
Where are all the Gabriel Knight sound effects on here? And
does it have sound? I mean, you can hold you can hold the mouse up and click it next to the microphone.
But you don't want anything spoiled for you.
It has Tim Curry's finest performance.
I agree with you, but I'm going to step out while you guys talk about Red Dead Redemption. I can't wait to see how you outro.
Can we talk about
Please excite me.
The ending as you're walking out, and then
Do it.
work backwards towards the beginning?
Do it. But the last thing I'll say about Red Dead Redemption is that Jane Jensen's a homo. So.
What I like is that he has to later then edit this of us spoiling the ending.
So he's gonna hear the spoiled ending anyway.
That's true. Yeah.
And he's back. Oh. So
can you get Henry to edit this part? He hasn't played the game yet either.
Chris, quick question. We wanted to outro with one of those songs. Should we just name it then? All right. Okay, gotcha. So Red Dead Redemption, everyone.
Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah, it was a pretty good game. The end.
I don't want to say it has cowboys in it because that would spoil it for Chris.
Yeah, he has not played it. But
okay.
Yeah.
Which one's the space bar?
No, it's really. It was really. At first, it felt very much like a GTA or Rockstar kind of game. Like only now it was in a West. I set waypoints. I did the same missions. The people kind of behaved like it was a GTA game initially.
That's how it felt when it was being previewed to us and stuff like that.
But as the game went on and matured, it was like no. These characters actually seem more believable. The world seems like it has more consistent. Like the fact that it's supposed to be America, but not a specific part.
That's kind of the Rockstar formula that they've been doing throughout GTA games, but just by making it a Western, somehow fixed all the problems. Like before, they were always talking about the American dream and how, the American dream's a fraud, and you end up just sadder than ever at the end and broken down. But this one's about America, but because it's in history, they can actually say a lot more about America with actual things that happen, like World War I's coming, and the West is dying out, and people are giving over to technology.
This whole
and also like Nico and all the other GTA, I'm trying to become a better person. I don't want to kill people anymore, but I'm going to kill people in every single mission here.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas Marston, I really got the sense that he only really did kill bad people, and that they're like people trying to steal things or actively shoot at you,
and
or I don't know.
He probably killed a lot of people in his past, but he's trying to atone for that.
Redeem that. Hence the name of the game.
Yeah.
And that the whole game is one giant allegory for the Old West being kind of a fraud. Like the idea that we all have of the Old West. That's perpetuated in media.
This romantic idea.
Yeah. It's an allegory of that, and that he represents the last link to that Old West. And then when, spoiler, so fucking skip if you haven't beat it yet.
No, you don't have to talk about the ending. You don't have to talk about the ending.
We do.
When the ending happens.
The ending happens. Well,
the ending's fantastic. We don't actually say what happens there.
We've done it all the time, and we just say skip ahead 5 minutes.
No, I don't feel like spoiling this. Come on.
It sold 5 million copies. I think people. I think we're safe, especially with this much lead up.
All right, what do you want to say about?
When he dies, I already said skip it, so that's your own fault for not doing it if you did. But no, when he does, it's like the most impactful game death I've felt maybe ever.
It was great because it worked perfectly in the story. It was even though I had already had it spoiled for me that was going to happen, it was still shocking just how brutal and fast it was.
Yeah.
But it was also at the same time it was like paying homage to like Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, like just bursting out the door, and it was like.
But the thing that got me was the last thing he does is the sigh right before he pushes open the door.
I didn't even notice that. It's like how he's like looking through the slit. It's all like
he's looking through a slit in the barn door, and he just. Like he knows, this is it. It's all led up to this, and hopefully they'll get out of here. But I have to push open the door as a distraction.
It's also fantastic because the entire game you've had the Deadeye, which has made you like superhuman, and you're like, I can shoot like 5 guys in the matter of 1 second. And now it's like they give you that moment of Deadeye, like here you go, but you're not gonna be able to do anything with it.
Yeah.
And it's just that whole like instead of just watching a cutscene, you feel like so futile. Like no, I can't save him. Maybe if I just aim for Edgar Ross and the other guy, it's too late.
You still are just blown the hell away. But then it's
although at the same time, it's one of those things where it's like, come on, I've absorbed like 1,000 times as many bullets as this over the course of the game.
Well, it's that any game like that where there's any kind of life-giving potion or
he ran out of beef jerky and
right. It's like as far
medicine.
as the canon of the game is concerned, you never actually got shot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
or maybe
you're being
missed
or
something. Yeah. But no, and then between that, the world, like I would just, for a lot of time, I would just pause and look at the map and be like, oh, remember when I was back down in Mexico and I ran through there and
like when you get that poncho, it's like, this is a souvenir of your travels in Mexico. I'm like, yeah, it was.
Yeah, and there were things I didn't like a lot of those ambient challenges they just really irritated me, or I couldn't tell who was the good guy or bad guy in a given shootout sometimes, and I ended up killing the wrong person, or my horse literally ran in front of me one time when I was shooting a bunch of people, and now my horse was dead, and it was one of the it was one of the achievement horses.
Did your horses ever just suddenly drop dead?
No.
That happened to me like 3 or 4 times.
It was maybe because a cougar had bitten it.
No, well, in my case, I think it was. I think maybe you can push your horse too hard. Because all of a sudden, it's just like, I was kind of spurring mine on.
Oh, I think that did happen to me once.
Like, after it had been through a lot, like, it had been wounded, I'd been running it too hard, and then all of a sudden just, like, collapses at high speed.
I didn't know that.
You're a terrible man.
I guess so.
But then, like, just when you get to, was it West Elizabeth, and then you're, like, roaming through the snow, and this very mountain feeling, and it's like, and then there's points where you can stand on top of a cliff and, like, see not just the McFarland Ranch, but you can see the giant river that separates it, and see a little bit into Mexico. And there were points when I'd stand on a tall hill and just like where you can see multiple points of the map and use the rifle scope and look around. And and the world is like keeps going because we just got that feel that I'm in a living, and I know it's a cliched phrase, but a living, breathing world. Because I could see way across where I have no business even looking. 2 guys running down on a stagecoach, just going down the street. I turn a 180, look up on these hills, and it's some people hanging out on the sidewalk or walking through a street somewhere. And it really felt like this is the Old West. It makes sense. There's not that many people.
And there was a moment like that every single time I played. There was always a moment where I stopped and admired a sunset or a sunrise or a rainstorm.
The clouds,
oh, man.
Or just some blood and some bloody footprints in the sand after a duel.
Yeah, I love westerns and I love sci-fi, and I think between this and Mass Effect, it was really hard for me to decide which one I liked more. And to me, I still think Mass Effect wins, but I don't know. Like the fact that this is even that high, and I loved Red Dead Revolver despite all of its problems.
Yeah.
But this was like just, I was so happy it turned out as good as it did. And then the ending, when you, again, the spoiler, but you already know that Chris is literally mooning us with his ass on the glass.
Nice.
I'm going to yell the ending, Chris! Chris, the ending is when James Marston... He's not doing it. Yeah, there he goes.
Yeah, I knew I'd already had it kind of spoiled what the ending was. And
there's no James Marston.
Yeah. But then just the way they
was playing as...
I did too.
I didn't know how they were going to pull it off. Like, well, how can he die and you keep playing? Maybe you'll be like a flash forward or a flash back and you'll go back to being him to explore the world. And I was like, I guess they could... Okay. Oh my God.
Yeah. It's just one of those things. It's going to flash forward. It's very hard.
Give you a full frontal now.
It's very hard to make it.
Balls on the glass.
It's very hard to make it through this game to the end without it being spoiled for you, which is the reason I was so reluctant to spoil it, because I didn't want to be part of the problem. So I had it spoiled by a YouTube description when I looked up to see if the I Know You missions are very enigmatic and weird, and you kind of have a choice with them, so I wanted to see, can it go any differently? And, I found out, number one, no, it can't. And number two, John dies at the end.
Right.
Yeah, and
James Marston, by the way, played Cyclops. That's what it just sounds like John Marston.
And this is the way that, just so brilliant, the way they switch protagonists and managed to pull that off and have you continue, you can keep doing all the stuff that you still want to finish in the open world, all the stranger missions up for that one, all the hunting and challenges, but, you're a new guy now that you didn't play for the whole rest of the game.
Yeah.
And just the fact that he, the whole game was supposed to be about, I'm trying to atone for myself and make a better life for my kid, and he's going to be a writer, and now he's just like
no,
John.
No, he's not. He's going to be
God, it was so...
As Edgar Ross took that future away from him.
It was such a beautiful game, but so, crushing, and it's like...
And then, towards the end, when you first see the first, tank, and then you realize the time period that it's in, I got that real sense of, the West is really gone, and the government is coming.
All those people are running out and going, that's like an Iron Dragon.
What is that? That's the devil itself. And it's like that World War I is so close.
It's like, wow, it's a really shitty technical that moves really slowly.
Yeah. And then even just the fact they couldn't do TV shows anymore or radio, but they still managed to get all bringing the world more to life in the newspapers. And then when you go and read the last newspaper, as the new protagonist, you can find little epilogues on all the characters, and it says like wars broken out across Europe.
Yeah,
I really want there to be DLC where you get to keep playing that character and do more stuff.
Wars broken out across Europe. It should be over by Christmas.
Yeah, and there was also like the headline was like, nobody can explain how this happened, and nobody ever will be able to explain it.
Nobody knows, but
it's just
all the heads of the ruling families of Europe, most of whom are related to each other, all think it'll be over by Christmas.
It was just like it was a beautiful game. It was a smart game. It was really fun to play.
Yeah,
it didn't get too repetitive.
I love for the first time the targeting in a Rockstar open world game was really good.
The side stuff I didn't feel like
targeting was good.
I did. Yeah.
I guess it was pretty good. I remember
popping in, just popping in and out with L.
Yeah.
Like it would auto-target.
I thought it was sort of unreliable. Like, it was overall really good, but there were a few times where it's just like he's not focusing on anything.
Oh, I didn't know.
But of course, then after playing a certain other game, I kind of know what good auto-targeting
I was going to say
is.
that. I was going to say something about that.
Yeah.
There's like, I think for me,
you're right. It's pretty fantastic.
For me,
I guess maybe one of the only other criticisms is that because of the Deadeye aim and I don't know, when you get that first horse that matters, it's like I never really need another horse, and I never need to buy any other guns. Because
but that's not. I mean, you don't need to, but you get rewarded if you do.
Yeah.
I mean, collecting those other horses.
No, I did. I did end up getting.
There's like a German pistol that shoots really fast.
Yeah. But it's like I still went through the game with little. I wish there were more like.
I kind of like that because it's a Western. It's like you got your 6-shooter. That's all you need.
Yeah. I definitely don't have a problem with it. It was just kind of like. It was weird that they gave you all the tools you needed almost from the beginning.
Yeah. Something like so.
It does have a slow start, but I like the slow start.
I love the slow start. But he's like injured, and
he's injured in the tutorials, and everyone's super nice, and you're like, "Wow, this guy is damn nice. I want to play as this guy." Instead of like Nico, where I was like, "Hey, I'm trying not to kill people, but it just keeps happening."
The B button in GTA 4, I think, is the melee button. Like go and punch and push pedestrians. And this button, the B button, is tip your hat to pedestrians and say good morning.
Morning. Afternoon, ma'am.
Yeah, well, he kind of has two settings. One is the afternoon, ma'am, and the other is, if you don't help me, I'm going to shoot you in the face.
Yeah, I wish he wasn't so mean to Uncle near the end of the game, because Uncle's like, he's an old man, come on.
But it looked to me like Uncle had shit all over his beard.
Well, it looked like, I think it was supposed to be like stained with
man,
beer.
But he's also a lazy drunk.
Yeah, just stained with like a drunk, or if he had thrown up in his beard.
I don't know. I think maybe it was supposed to be that his hair used to be that color and it's just gone grayer on the outside, but I just can look at every time I looked at it, I looked like, were you eating shit for breakfast or something?
I really thought it was like he puked or something. But then mission after mission, it was still there, and I'm like, well, I guess it's not supposed to be barf because it's been days.
And then like it was sad when something happened to him, but I was like, still like, well, at least he won't have to taste that shit on his mouth anymore.
But then, at the end, like it was already, I was really moved by the end of Marston, but then like.
That last Stranger mission was
the last Stranger
better.
mission, which I did a twit pic of the guy's face. Like his eyeballs like floating in two piles of like polygon gore. It just made me laugh. But then you actually get the credits.
Yeah, and a great song.
And a great song, and it was just like, holy shit, this was. I don't know how a game will be better than that the rest of the year.
So for me, this is my clear choice as the number one game of 2010 so far.
I think it's the best game I've played in a long time. It's
I was
the only
really
Rockstar game I've ever successfully 100%ed.
It's my favorite Rockstar game so far.
Yeah, I would definitely say that for sure.
So, but you're saying maybe Mass Effect 2 is your number one?
I would still because Mass Effect 2, I was like it was 30 hours the first time, 35, something like that, and I immediately did it right away. Like I love it so much. But this to me is equally as good. It's just like for me, I would be happy giving either one of these Game of the Year. And looking at what's coming in the fall, I don't know what. Nothing stands out that's going to be better than either one of those games to me.
Yeah, it's like Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. I'm sure it'll be good. But
yeah, I'm sure all those games will be good. I'm sure Reach will be pretty good.
Call of Duty Black Ops.
I'm sure Black Ops will be a fine game. But it's like I don't see an Arkham Asylum happening where a new game comes out that's so surprisingly good that this is this year's Arkham Asylum as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. Because it's like that original game that you're like, it looks kind of good, and like, whoa, I never thought it'd be this good.
I never thought it would be as good as it was. But speaking of the music, the credits music was fantastic. But the thing that kind of sets the stage.
Ashtar Command, I think.
Ashtar Command?
Yeah,
Ninja Gaiden reference?
Maybe.
The music in the game is mostly like atmospheric stuff, but then at key points in the game, it's interrupted by actual song with the vocalist. And the first time that happens is when you first arrive in Mexico, you get on the horse that they provide to you. They're like, oh, here's a horse or whatever. And then you get on and you start walking, and then you see even though Mexico is very clearly Monument Valley, which is from the American West, I don't know why they disguised it as Mexico in this game, but you're walking around these gorgeous formations and all these hills and finally crossing that river that's been kind of just there the whole time, and then the song starts playing. And it was really, I don't know, just continued to set the mood that it
was probably the moment where you're like, it solidified in your mind, like, this is an amazing game, not just a great game. Like, the fact that all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this song is playing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, what's the name of the song?
Far Away.
Far Away, right.
By, like, Jose Gonzalez or something.
Right. So that's taking us out. When we come back, we'll be talking about the new releases this week.
And I will be magically have transformed into Henry
You're
Gilbert.
You're going to transform into Henry Gilbert.
He thinks that Mario Galaxy should have been #1.
Yeah.
And he also thinks that we've been sucking Alan Wake's dick.
Oh, dear. That guy's not real, so it doesn't matter.
Yep. It's only fake dick.
Fake dick.
It's just
like if you stick a dildo in your mouth, it doesn't mean you're gay.
Then later, community segment, game deals, all that shit. Bye.
Step in front of a runaway train, just to feel alive again. Pushing forward through the night, aching just to blur aside. It's so far away. It's so far away.
Hey everybody, it's Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man, and you're listening to TalkRadar on GamesRadar.com.
It's the brand new hit video game, Super Pluckio Brothers. Live the fun and excitement as you guide Pluckio and his brother Linguini through Fungo World.
Ooh, like Save Me and junk.
Rescue Princess Loon from the Toadstool Tower by picking the magic kumquat. But be sure to pick the right magic kumquat, or the Dizzy Doofus will pluck you bald. Then find the giant nya of power before time runs out, or you'll be mega gornished.
It's more than a game, it's an obsession.
That's Super Pluckio Brothers for your non-Mindo system. Whine, scream, and cry until your folks break down and buy you one. Only $879.99. Batteries, instructions, joystick, and game not included.
I'd buy that for $1.
TalkRadar, bitches.
All of a sudden, I could feel 100% evil come over me.
Whoopee! I'm going to GamesRadar.com, the official website of the internet.
Can you dig it?
And now I know the only compass that I need is the one that leads back to you. And I know the only compass that I need, is the one leads back to you. And the burning blisters on my feet will call to hold me as I'm close to fall. Away from the home of your arms I stray, off the radar and into harm's way. Now I know the only compass that I
what's the matter, buddy?
Put 'em on.
Sorry, you're a podcast star. Everybody loves you.
I don't know about that.
What? Talk Radar 108, Part 2?
Yes.
Part 2, or Part 3, if you count the skip in the fucking last segment.
Oh, yeah.
Henry, what's the matter?
Huh?
Henry's replacing Charlie.
Yeah. What? No, it's just this is
What's the matter?
I kind of wanted to be involved in the first segment too.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I know Charlie needed to be here because he was the wrangler.
We summed it
that
up.
top
You know,
don't worry, we got it.
Super Mario Galaxy should have been number 1.
Yeah,
Alan
totally.
Wake should have been in there because it has such fantastic storytelling.
Yeah.
In fact, I spent most of the time arguing why Mario Galaxy should have been number 3.
Actually, right up until the top 7 went live, number 1 ahead of Mario Galaxy was going to be Family Guy. Like last season, not even new stuff.
No, the PS2 game.
Yeah, the PS2 game.
Or Xbox, whichever one.
Trying to get Henry going on that again. Okay, new releases, everybody? New releases?
Why, sure.
APB, is that out?
Oh, it is so out this week.
Wow.
I heard from people who played it, and they said boring and generic.
There are no reviews up because it's an MMO, and you can't review those.
So borneric.
It's unfortunate that Real Time Worlds, who did the first Crackdown,
I know,
they put it out this week when Crackdown 2 is out next week, and we've been playing Crackdown 2 this week.
Which is why Charlie ran away.
Charlie's off to complete his review, which should be up, I think, today maybe. Or no, I guess it has to wait till Monday, perhaps. I'm not sure when the actual embargo is.
We can't really talk much about it yet.
We can't talk about how it's the same game.
I played it at E3.
No, I can't say that.
I played it at E3. I made it a point to I didn't play Crackdown 2, and I ran over there to play it. Not the greatest circumstances,
right?
But I couldn't distinguish it from one, except that there was a helmet.
It's a helmet and zombies.
I didn't see any zombies.
Games you could have played instead of that in your E3.
I love Crackdown. I did
too. I loved the first one to death. I put a ton of time into that. But
you should
about games that came out this week.
99 Nights.
Wow.
I hear there's
really it's out.
I hear there's kind of like 1,000 troops.
No, it's
you're
more
wrong.
like 100.
Really?
I think it's higher.
I actually think it's just 10.
It's 10 troops. A dozen troops.
10 troops.
A dozen troops.
Don't you have the sound of him correcting us?
Sometimes. I didn't cue it up.
Oh,
but I think everybody remembers, right?
Yeah, we do. But I mean, come on.
What was his name? Takfuji?
Dawson.
Oh, hell no!
Jesus. What else? Sniper Ghost Warrior, a budget game based around sniping.
What's that for?
Xbox 360, I believe.
Wow, 99 Nights has no reviews, and Sniper Ghost Warrior only has 1.
Everybody's too busy doing crap.
Naughty Bear? Anything for Naughty Bear?
Yeah, Naughty Bear is getting its ass kicked.
Yeah, Naughty Bear's getting raked over the fucking coals.
Really?
I don't think it really deserves that. I can't really say what score I'm giving it because that issue of OXM is not out yet. But I thought it was better than most of the scores on Metacritic.
What would you give it if you were reviewing it for Games Radar?
I would give it a
7.
A 7.
7.
Yeah. Well, IGN gave it a 3.
Whoa.
GameSpot of 5.5. And it's averaging a 44 at the current.
Well, here's the thing. It's really kind of a repetitive game, but I was able to have fun in just switching up the ways that I terrified and killed the bears repeatedly over and over and over again. I mean, it is really repetitive now that I think about it. It's like, okay, there's like 3 basic areas spread out over 7 episodes, so you keep going back to the same areas. You'll keep killing largely the same cast of bears.
Are the kills that varied?
They are pretty varied because there's a lot of different weapons, and you can just run up and melee slash someone to death. You can scare them to death so that they scare them to the point where they go insane. And if you scare them again once they're insane, they'll kill themselves. And usually if they're carrying a machete, they'll commit seppuku right there.
That's pretty grim.
And I mean, it's not that gross because it's like they're just bears, and instead of blood, there's stuffing that flies around. But
as you saw in our trailer Trash Theater last week.
Oh, yeah.
Which thank you to everyone who did push that over 90 comments or whatever.
100.
100. Thank you to everybody for watching.
Yeah, I mean, there's some really brutal stuff. There's with the silenced pistol, when you get that. You can execute bears shooting them once in each knee, and then they fall to their knees, and then Naughty Bear grabs the back of their head and holds it back, and you just see this close up of their whimpering, quivering lips on their face, and then he just shoots them in the face. It's really fucking brutal, but it's always just really lighthearted and cheerful and silly. So I mean, I thought it was a concept that works. Other people obviously disagree.
Is it cheap?
No, it is not cheap enough. It is $50, which I think is at least $10 too expensive.
Yeah. At least
I mean, if it was a $20 in a heartbeat, If it was $20 in a heartbeat, I would say go out and buy this. It's a lot of fun for $20, but it's not $20.
It
So
won't be
maybe
too
wait
long.
till it is.
I don't think that'll be too long.
No, not at the rate the reviews are going. Holy
So
shit!
I saw that game in a demo a few months ago, and didn't they? Isn't it? It seemed a little fake to me how they set up his reasons for getting to kill them, because it's like sort of self-defense, isn't it? That everybody in that town wants to kill Naughty anyway.
That's the thing. That it's a different reason in every episode. Because, say, hey, this guy's running for mayor on a Kill Naughty Bear platform, so kill him and all of his supporters. This guy's creating robots. Oh my god, he might end the world with these 0-point energy transmitters. Go destroy them and kill everybody.
Okay.
There's aliens. They're taking over everybody's minds. Go save the island by killing everyone.
Man, so that game I know that game has ninjas, and it has zombies.
It has ninjas, zombies,
pirates, to
robots.
complete the
No, but it does have lots of soldiers, and it's kind of funny because it's basically. I mean, you strip away the teddy bear veneer, and it's a Friday the 13th game. It would work very well as a Jason Voorhees simulator, and that you're scaring your victims is almost more important than killing them.
No, that's
to the point where the more you scare them, the more they'll get points. And if other bears see a frightened or insane or wounded or dead bear, they will also get scared, and you will rack up more points. I mean, it's very score-based, and then when you get a certain amount of points, you can move on to the next area.
Seems like a template game that someone will then use this idea and make a cool game like a year later where they'll do something cool with it.
That would be kind of cool. It's like if these, I'm not saying this is a better game than Manhunt, but Manhunt should take some lessons from this when the next one rolls around. But for instance, if you scare an enemy enough, they might run and call for help. There are all these little payphones, and if they do that, you can sneak up behind them, bash them around the head with the phone receiver, and then shove it down their throat, at which point they die. Or you can let them call for help, and then a boat will come in with teddy bear cops or teddy bear SWAT agents.
Yeah.
And then so you have a new threat, but it's also potentially more points and more kills. I found it really entertaining. I would recommend it strongly as a rental. Or, again, if it ever drops down to $20, get that.
That or Fairy Tale Fights.
Actually, that's another thing. I played the Fairy Tale Fights demo. Found it kind of fun.
I think we know what the problem is.
I had a shitty taste in games.
Maybe.
Because my understanding was that was a garbage game.
It probably is a garbage game for longer than 5 minutes.
Right.
But for those 5 minutes, it was kind of fun.
I heard from our
How about
old
did
pal
anybody
Manders
play Singularity?
No.
I haven't played it for a fucking year. I played it last year at Comic-Con.
Really? That's right. It was there.
I cannot believe it's.
That game makes me feel sad for Raven Software, because this is the second first-person shooter they made for Activision that got completely just overlooked and ignored. The last one they did was Wolfenstein, which Keist reviewed for us, and he thought was good, but not amazing, and that's why nobody paid attention to it. And then, the thing they did before that was Wolverine, which I really liked, but the Raven, I think, should maybe stick with Marvel games and not with first-person shooters.
Based off the movie? The
X-Men
Origins? Right.
Well, if you've been waiting to buy it, just hold on to the game deal segment.
Okay.
And, get it on the 360.
Yeah, it seemed to be Singularity. We had Dave Houghton from the UK office. He seemed to be why aren't they drumming this up a bit more? Because it's a shooter releasing, kind of against nothing right now. There's not another new shooter last week or even next week. Or
doesn't seem like they're advertising for it.
No, they're not really doing much at all. So it's kind of why aren't you? Because it seems like a competent game. It's just kind of
it seems like they had no faith in it, delayed it for. Didn't they say the sole purpose of getting it out of other release
Call
windows?
of Duty's way? Yeah. Well, also, what do they need? I know it's a sci-fi shooter and not a regular shooter like Call of Duty, but what does Activision need more than one or even two first-person shooters for?
I don't know if you know this, but they're in the business of making money. So the more things that they can sell that will make them money, the better.
That we can exploit on an annual basis.
Right, but then they release it and literally did nothing to support it, so it won't make them any money. It'll just die.
This kind of I'm worried that Raven Software will go the way of Shaba Games and get closed down because the last two games they put out flopped.
Wolfenstein as well.
Yeah.
Wolverine, was that them?
No, they did Wolverine, but Wolfenstein and now this one which the way it's being treated, I don't think it's going to do that well for him.
Yeah, it's too big.
Also, they're putting it out right next to another game of theirs, Transformers, which is
it was
also,
last week, yeah.
Somebody here reviewed that, right?
Yeah, some geek.
Did you? Do you have anything you want to say about that?
I liked it a lot. I think I gave it the 8, and I think it deserved it. Yeah, it was really cool.
Sweet.
I think I've heard some people say that, like, I don't know, maybe I geeked out more on it than.
But I think that's what it's for.
The thing is, I'm geeking out with it. I'm about halfway through, and I still am like,
still
really irritated at a lot of things about it.
I still like it.
I'd go with 7, but still, like, that's not a big divergence, so it's not a big.
It was bad. I felt like I think we gave Revenge of the Fallen a 7, and I felt like this is better than Revenge of the Fallen.
I would say it's better than that. I think. I don't really. Yeah, it's better than that.
Wait.
I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Lego Harry Potter. What do we do about this?
I don't know.
I saw the new trailer for the movie. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, the Deathly Hallows movie.
We have a review up, and we get Freelancer gave it a 9 and said it was an excellent use of the license mixed with the Harry, but like it was better than some of the more recent Lego games that were like, well, the Star Wars one did good, so let's just keep making more. Like it was better than Indiana Jones.
For some reason, I like the idea of it being 1 through 4 and being like this huge Harry Potter saga,
right?
And it's making fun of that instead of like one at a time. I don't know. It seems like it probably doesn't waste a lot of time, but gets through a lot of the canon.
That means next year they can make 5 through 7.
Yeah.
I don't know. They waited too long to do it one story at a time. That's too much.
Yeah. But no, I mean.
Also in the aforementioned Trailer Trash video, Trailer Trash 1, there'll be a link on the TalkRadar 108 page because plug.
Yes, plug. There'll be a new Trailer Trash this Friday as well.
Harry Potter.
And then Sunday, Sin and Punishment Star Successor came out, which I reviewed for Wii.
I really loved your review. I thought like the first couple images, let's say, was going to be your whole review.
I really wanted it. I talked to Carolyn about it. I'm like, what would you do if my entire review was just me posting game over screens?
Yeah.
And then I gave it like a 5, and with no text. It's just game over screens. But the truth is, like, it was a super review, so you get to play with it a little bit more and put images and stuff. But it's a rail shooter, but that doesn't mean it's like a game like Virtua Cop or Revolution X. If I just want to throw
Dead Space Extraction.
It's more like Dead Space Extraction, which was another great. I gave that an 8 as well. I really enjoyed Dead Space Extraction, but it's not like either of those either. It's more like Panzer Dragoon because there's multi-targeting, there's really tough bosses, It's not so much story-driven as it just is like Twitch gaming, like shoot, target, blow up, dodge, and you can dodge and kick missiles back at enemies. Like it's just a lot of points, combo stringing together, huge explosions and set pieces of like, whoa, I'm flying through this tunnel, and now this giant robot's attacking me, and the bosses are super weird. It's a really cool game, and it's made by Treasure, and if you know Treasure, you know what you're getting. You're getting a really hard, really fun, really good-looking shooter.
I'm really sad I never played the first one, though.
Well, it was never released in the U.S.
I know, but it's on WiiWare.
It's on WiiWare now, yeah.
You get it on Virtual Console.
Look at your fucking talk. I have access to that shit.
For $12.
I could play that for a billion years.
It's $12, but I don't know. It is what it is. If you hate games where you die a lot over and over again, then you probably won't like it. But it is a fun, it's a game where motion controls actually work because the motion is just a pointer on the screen. There's no other stupid shit involved. And it says you can hook up a GameCube controller and play. I did it, didn't work once. So I don't know what the hell was going on there.
Did you try it with the classic controller?
I didn't try the classic controller because I couldn't find mine. But it says it supports all of those things. But it was fun, and with 2 people, I'm sure you could have a ton of fun with it.
That's all I have for new releases. I don't have. Henry, tell me some news this week that you're excited about.
Oh, wait, one other, the Puzzle Quest 2 is going to be on XBLA.
Okay.
Not surprised. When does it come out?
Today, Wednesday.
I want news, hard news. I saw Hulu Plus is coming out for U.S. audiences.
Yeah,
pretty
Hulu
awesome.
Plus. I read today that you're going to have PlayStation Plus to use Hulu Plus.
Really?
So you're going to have to pay $10 a month on top of the
$50 a year.
Yeah. What about when it comes?
Well, that PlayStation Plus deal looks fucking awesome, though.
Well, I mean, you're already paying $50 for Xbox Live Gold, which you have to use Netflix anyway.
But this comes with free games all the time, and you get cheaper games by being part of the service.
It's a better deal than you'll get
and free
with
cord
Xbox Live.
with Veronica
The only
Belmont.
problem is you don't get to keep that shit if you ever cancel your subscription.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's gone.
No,
You're
yeah.
basically leasing it until
It's free as long as you have your subscription.
My prescription.
Your prescription.
If you ever decide, I don't want it anymore, and you lose all that stuff.
It has those, like, it's going to have like access to the downloadable trials where you can, like, just download and play a full retail game for, like, an hour.
Yeah, the Hour of Infamous, I think, is part of the deal.
I felt bad. I was bothered when they announced that at the press conference because they start when they announced it. They start by saying, "You know, we offer all this awesome shit for free. We're so much better than Xbox, man.
It's still free,
and now you're going to pay for more things."
Exactly.
I don't know. I'm kind of excited about Hulu, though. I don't
Only that it'll be available on multiple platforms. I can watch it on my iPhone, my computer. Probably like Blu-ray players already outfitted to use it, and so are most new televisions.
I'm a little bothered though that I think I read somewhere that you're still going to have to watch commercials even if you pay the $10.
But it's like one. It's like one or two per episode.
I don't know, but still,
as
commercial.
opposed to a dick ton.
If I'm paying for a subscription, I don't want to see commercials, man. I'm sick of commercials.
Maybe what I wouldn't mind is one at the beginning.
I guess if just one in the beginning.
One in the beginning would be cool. Who knows?
I didn't even mind when I would watch Lost on ABC.com. I didn't mind when there was one commercial. Well, I'm not paying for anything, but there was one commercial in between where a commercial break would have normally gone.
But that's where
it was one.
Agreeing with Henry because I'm on my computer, I hit my new tab and I intentionally I'll keep busy for the next 24 seconds.
Yeah. While I hear about Tide.
Yes. The following is brought to you by Dove Soap Bars.
And it's like, you know how I buy soap? Literally whatever the first soap I see when I get to the soap aisle.
I keep forgetting. I
get whatever's on
I am such a bad human being. Like, I will not remember to buy toothpaste, any of that hygienical nonsense.
Hygienic
nonsense. Hygienitals. I'm done talking about that. Because we don't have much here. Because what I wanted to
I don't think I can do Hulu because I was researching this because I refuse to give Comcast any of my money ever again. And Comcast has a 51% share in NBC Universal, who is one of the major proponents of Hulu.
Yeah.
And I'm afraid that my $10 somehow goes back to Comcast.
Think of it about
do it.
Every time NBC occupies your consciousness anyway.
They're not making any money off that.
Not true. If they didn't make any, NBC would not bestow you with a television show if it wasn't somehow making money off you. Don't worry about that, Elston, is all I'm saying.
Oh my god, that clip we saw today about that guy describing the future of everything being a fucking game for you advertise, that made me so depressed. It made me want to move into a cave and never watch or see anything again.
It just sort of made me excited because I just got that stupid fucking Foursquare on my phone that makes everything. I'm going to the bus station. I'll check in here.
I think it was true. It was true that this idea of awarding points for everything that you do when they get to the future point where you can have a mini game with your toothbrush and your cereal box, like all that stuff, and it's like, and it maybe can, in a roundabout way, train people to do healthier, better things by even if you trick them,
or it could train people to use certain products
and consume more.
Oh man, Fat Flakes is. I'm buying 12 boxes because there's double points associated with them.
Right,
It's
possible.
I don't Lard Flakes.
I don't see. I don't know. It sounds like I sound like a hippie saying this, but it really does seem like it's turning Big Brother into a game.
Yeah, Big Brother's already fucking happened. Everyone needs to realize that. You already tracked this shit.
It's been part of our mythology for years as something that's just going to be an eventuality. An eventuality.
It's about sugarcoating the pill.
Yes. This is going to hurt, Henry. We got to try and make it as fun as possible.
Everything you do on Facebook, your fucking text messages, it's
it's about lubricating your kids because your kids are fucked. Not you, Henry. It's not going to hurt you that much. They're not going to scan your retina and detail this Honda that you like. You can put a Spider-Man figure on the dashboard.
We found out you like Spider-Man because we watched your Twitter.
Yeah.
I got creeped out. I tweeted something about that crazy lady that's running against Harry Reid, but just because I said her name, then I'm now being followed on Twitter by Bless This Nation. And I was
dear.
Jesus
I
Christ.
wrote I was broke. And some bot found me and figured out that I was from Florida. You can make money at home in Florida.
Wow.
Fuck you. Leave me alone. AT&T, that person found me, who was very nice, and I yelled at.
I got one of those too for I tweeted Alan Wake could just as easily have been renamed tantrum-prone asshole who deserves everything he gets. And like, I got a tweet back like from Xbox support.
Wow,
like,
really?
Saying, it's like, hope you're enjoying Alan Wake. Let us know if you run into any problems.
Oh my god, that is so crazy. I got one of those too.
Really?
I was playing, okay, so on Monday this week, at 7:45, there was an earthquake, and like
I don't believe anyone.
A 3.5. No, my couch shook a little bit.
I was awake.
Yeah, I didn't feel it either.
My couch shook, and so I immediately tweeted, "Man, my couch just shook from an earthquake." At first, I thought I was getting really into Alan Wake, and then I got like an aim tweet from them and saying like, "Hope everything's okay. Let us know if you have any problems."
Yeah, well, it's it was actually part of Alan Wake's revolutionary storytelling. You just thought it was a quake, but you were really getting into Alan Wake.
Any other news?
I just wanted to mention that Twitter thing because I made a joke. My girlfriend mentioned something about something, and I was like, tweeted the things that should be cereal and aren't: asbestos, and cystic fibrosis, and because of that. I get all these retweets. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And it's a cystic fibrosis bot and mesothelioma news. So I wanted to see what I could trick them into retweeting, and I believe I said it was awesome because they have so many followers. Honk if you love mesothelioma and Hitler mustaches. Hashtag blood fart. And they fucking tweeted it. I'll post that picture on the front page because it fucking happened.
That was really
I
good.
lost followers in the beginning and then gained them later.
Yeah.
But I'm 100% sure it was funny. We were talking...
But other news this week.
Yeah, do you have any news? Give me some news.
You had
what do you
something
care
about the 3DS price showing up?
Yeah, a Dutch retailer leaked it as like €169, which translate roughly to like $210-$200 American.
I think it'll be
$200.
Like,
that's impossible because all these analysts were predicting $300. I'm like, I'd pay $300 for that.
Oh, yeah.
And that seems looking into it. That seems the only justification Nintendo has for charging $300 is that they know I'll pay it.
I guess, but Nintendo. That's a Sony kind of price.
Yeah,
Nintendo
they won't do that.
Like,
Nintendo, I don't think has ever launched a product for more than $300.
Yeah, I was under the impression the DS was $300 when it launched. I'm sorry, it was my bad.
Yeah, it was $180.
Well, actually, like the Wii was a big deal because it was the first to launch at $250 because they always.
No, the N64 launched at $250.
Oh wait, no, it was the
$199.
It first to launch at $200. No, the GameCube launched at $200. I thought as well.
Yeah, no, N64 was $199.
N64 was $249.
No,
I have the goddamn receipt. I'll bring it in tomorrow.
$199, brother.
It was $199.
You gotta relax. $199.
N64.
I was there. Was there.
So was I.
Elston,
I'm the one with the memory.
Would I argue with you on dates and costs unless I was sure?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
But I'm willing to put money on it. It was $199. I'm absolutely positive.
N64 was $249.
I'm pretty sure it was $199 because they made a big deal
Stick
that
to your
the
guns.
Wii was $250.
Stick to your guns, Henry.
Nope.
It was an exciting time because the Saturn's like, we're $199 too. Fuck the N64, and we got 3 games, and that's how I ended up buying it. It's the exact same price.
I remember that because you got Virtua Cop 2, Virtua Fighter 2, and Daytona
USA.
Yeah.
I ended up buying mine because Target was like, "Here's a big stack of Saturns. They're $80. Please buy one."
We love the Saturn. There was
This
some
like
news
a month after I bought a Virtual Boy because it was like, "Here's a Virtual Boy, it's $50. Just take it off our hands."
It wasn't even really news, but some Sega High muckety muck just started talking about releasing Saturn games in XBLA, and yes, we're very excited about that.
I would like that. Yes,
I would like. They skipped that console entirely.
Well, because I think up until very recently, it was very hard to emulate. I think now they finally cracked the code on how to emulate it.
No, but they're not emulating it. They're dealing with the actual code, like the.
Well, no, but you still have to emulate it on the system.
But it's a little easier when you're pulling data off a disk. But imagine you're pulling like a fucking. I don't know, what would you call it? Like a Photoshop. I'm handing you the Photoshop PSD. I'm not telling you to run this image.
Yeah.
They have the PSD. They have the Final Cut project. They can move stuff around. They can see how everything works.
Yeah.
Seems like money on the table.
They're only just getting started on the Dreamcast games.
And they don't want to make hardware anymore. They don't want to make new games.
Why
not?
New games are pricey, and they haven't been working. New games haven't been working out too well for Sega lately.
Yes.
I will save everyone the trouble of finding it out, but apparently it was $1.99.
Oh, look at that reveal answer. Told you.
I do have the receipt. It must be because I bought like a game or something with it.
It couldn't have been because all the games are $60. So there.
No,
they advertised it heavily as $2.49, but they cut it at like the last minute.
Maybe that's what it was.
Don't make them feel any better about this.
No, see, I remember
if I put money on something, it's because I'm sure, and I'm going to.
You didn't put money on anything.
I said I would.
We should put money, but you.
I said I would.
You should.
I know the GameCube was $1.99 as well, and I thought for sure that the N64.
I remember just
it must have been the total or something because I remember walking out of there with like $250.
I'm 15 years old and like the 64 comes out and I'm leaving like pamphlets all over my parents' house. Like, what's this under my bed? Oh, look at that, Montgomery Ward. This was, I thought, was silly. Who's publishing Dragon Quest IX, Hank?
That's Nintendo. Nintendo is,
and
Square Enix doesn't have the balls.
Yeah,
Nintendo needs to give up this.
The balls.
They don't got the balls.
Well, didn't Square publish the remakes?
No, yeah, Square's been publishing. They published They published 8, 4, and 5. So
Dragon Quest is a long shot, I guess.
Well, it just never. To be honest, like Dragon Quest has been so profitable for them in Japan that it really doesn't matter if it makes nothing.
It's like they have to attempt.
Released.
They have to at least try.
They have to.
It's
try
the same thing with
time
Monster Hunter and Capcom.
big.
It's like a token effort every time they put it out in the U.S.
Yeah, it's like if we make a profit off it, we're not losing money by doing this.
Right.
Really.
Though, I think they've underestimated the value of the Dragon Warrior name because you can fans are good to cater to, but never underestimate the power of. Oh man, Dragon Warrior! I played this when I was a kid.
Yeah, that it was still, and they were still pushing it as Dragon Warrior up until 2001. I think with Dragon Warrior 7.
Yeah, when 7 came out, they finally switched it back to
Quest.
they
made a fucking
there was Warrior. It was
7.
Dragon
They
Warrior.
put out Dragon Warrior 7
Yeah.
when the PS2 had just come out, and Dragon Warrior 7 looks like shit compared to Final Fantasy 7.
It's a really ugly game.
Do you think that was part of the reason they went DS exclusive?
No, they
went DS exclusive
so they could continue making shitty looking games.
No, because Henry he said it a long time ago that they picked the most popular platform.
NX, that's why there's been fewer Dragon Quests and then Final Fantasies, because they usually wait to say what system it's going to be on until they see what's the most popular of that generation.
And that's why Dragon Quest X is on Wii.
Yes, Dragon Quest X is on Wii, and that's actually another reason I think Nintendo is publishing it, because when Nintendo announced that they were getting Dragon Quest X, which they haven't said anything new about that in over a year, when they announced that, they said, like, Iwata made a point of saying, this game should be really big in the West, but it's not. And I am going to work with them, or Nintendo's going to work with Square to figure out how to make this a big deal. And so maybe that's why they're publishing.
Sticky cover, chainsaw guns, blood.
It's just funny,
sex,
because
robot DLC.
It's like robot boobs.
Everyone loves Dragon Warrior because they got it for free from Nintendo Power.
That's the only reason people.
But then after that, it was like I played through Dragon Warrior. I bet 5 or 6 times as a kid. Like me and my friend over and over and over, we'd just play and play and play, and and it was I loved it. Dragon Warrior 2 came out, don't care. And never cared again until 8. Like how many years later? 16 years
care
later,
because it wasn't a continuation of the story.
Yeah,
it was like 100 years later or something. And I was like, well, fuck it, my guy's dead. Why don't I want to play that?
Level 100
it's just
means
like
nothing.
Godfather 2. Why do I care?
I imagine the decision is sort of like the same way we talked about Sony consistently supporting Team Ico. Like it's just a good thing to have in their field. Like, yeah, we got all this casual shit, but then hey, you hardcore guys, we have something exclusive for you to keep you interested in the system.
It just saddens me every time when a new Dragon Quest comes out in America. They always advertise like 4 million Japanese people bought this game. Doesn't that mean anything?
What are you thinking, Round Eye? Pick this fucker up. And I do have some commercial.
Well, they maybe have found a way that they think is going to get it to endear.
And I appreciate it. Look, Nintendo's publishing it. This seems like their marketing move. Let's hear it.
Guys, I have an extra ticket to the concert tonight. Take me, dude. Take me.
Oh, choices, right? In Dragon Quest IX, I had to choose between a martial artist and a warrior to take into battle with me. I chose a warrior. Who will you choose? Decisions.
Weird. Seth Green.
I would choose a warrior because he'd have a lot higher def.
Oh, it's no question.
Yeah,
he's a tank. He'll suck up that damage. More dots.
It is no question. Seth Green. It's I like it better than Beyonce and Liv Tyler.
He's at least a nerd.
God, the Liv Tyler one.
Your favorite hobby is nerdy and boring to listen to.
The Liv Tyler one, the first 10 seconds sounds like a porn. And then when you see she's just putting her name in.
Oh, I saw the wrong video. I saw some woman tied up getting her feet tickled.
It just sounds like fucking
Tyler was
sex video.
Tyler Wilde wrote an article on this, was yelling about it, and no one laughs that much when playing fucking Nintendogs. I'm like, I did when I saw the 3DS.
The 3DS was
really
like,
that's the only time it's excusable because I was playing with a dog in 3D.
Right.
On the show floor.
Not like in real life.
I'm surprised though that commercial too sets him up as a nerd in it too.
But
the person playing 9 is a
But that's what I think
nerd,
they're
not
doing.
an everyman.
Is that Seth Green? We were talking to Tyler. Dude doesn't star in anything really.
Yeah.
He never appeared. He's the Robot Chicken guy, which you look at Cartoon Network this week, 700,000 people watch Robot Chicken, so it's not like this huge thing.
It's huge,
but Seth Green is more popular than that. He's not even no one even says from Buffy. Who gives a shit? He's Seth fucking Green.
Yeah,
he's a credible nerd.
Yeah.
So they bought him. And I just like that he did the call out.
Choose your posse, your weapons, your strategy. The adventure is yours. Dragon Quest IX, Sentinels of the Starry Skies. Rated everyone 10 and up.
Joker for Mass Effect, yelling about your Dragon Quest.
My thing is, it's just all those choices, and it's yeah, that's not a new feature, but whatever.
No, that class system is as old in the Dragon Quest world as Dragon Quest 3, which is 20 years
That's why
old.
it's hard for me to even get excited, because I loved 8, and I was like, this is a gorgeous game, and I love the music, and I haven't played a Dragon Warrior game since I was a kid, so I'm all for it. And then 9 is it's not as pretty as 8, because it's not as pretty.
Yeah.
It's not as strong a hardware, and I don't care about playing co-op RPG of this nature, which is their big thing. It's 4-player co-op the whole game. It's that's a cool feature for people in Japan who are always on a bus or a train.
I blame Monster Hunter for making every handheld
or an airship.
Or an airship. But here, everyone drives everywhere. I don't have, and even when I'm on the bus, it's too loud.
If I'm on the BART, am I actually going to say to somebody, are you playing Dragon Quest 9?
Let's hook up, eh?
Let's do a treasure hunt.
I can make this short because I want to get into the other thing, because I'll just play it in the break, because anybody see Reggie Fils-Aimé on Jimmy Fallon?
Yeah, I saw that.
It's kind of funny. Jimmy Fallon, I like that he kind of knows his shit.
Yeah.
He sucked at Donkey Kong Country Returns.
That was sad to watch.
You can hear him comedically improving while Diddy gets crushed and he's not playing correctly.
Yeah, I think it made the game look bad because he was like, just fucking press jump.
Yes, just
What
jump.
is the jump button?
Fucking
probably.
B. I'm Steve Brule. Steve Brule. Figure out. Yes, Jimmy Fallon is Steve Brule, but I really felt for him because they surprised him with a 3DS and...
Wait a sec, this is crazy. Now you guys can't see this, but it's crazy. It's in 3D. How is this working?
You guys have to see it. It's fucking,
it's
fucking awesome.
I mean, that's how I felt when they.
That's why I don't want to write about it.
When they took me up on the stairs to show the first time, I was like, but, what? Everyone, come look! You don't stand in line. Come here now! And you write about it. No, it's so cool. I wish you could see.
Jot down and it's just ellipses. Fuck! And wait until you say, wait until
That's the thing. It's there's no way to describe it credibly.
Yeah.
You just have to see it.
No, dude.
And we can't show you because we don't have any method of...
Look in front of you. Touch whatever's in front of you. That's the third dimension.
Well, okay, here's what you do. You make a little shoebox diorama with a little window that you look into, and you light it up, and you look into that window at whatever you've put into this shoebox. That is more or less the effect that looking
diorama.
into the 3DS has.
The diorama?
Well, it's like you're looking through a little window.
Yeah.
And it didn't...
At something real.
And it felt more like when I focus... My eyes, I could tell a difference the way I was focusing on a window versus a screen. It felt more like I was looking through a thing than at a thing. And it was... I don't know. Really impressed.
Well, I'll just play that whole thing. It's only like 3 minutes or something. And when you get...
I'm not entirely sold that Donkey Kong game, by the way.
We get back. Ooh. I had fun with it.
You had fun on the minecart level, which they couldn't possibly screw up.
No, it kicked my ass in the dick. It was very, very fucking hard. But I had a great time with it.
I know, but it's just a regular platforming. I'm not so sure.
It seems almost like a waste for Retro to just do another.
It seems like a nice little breather project.
Yeah, I'm all for them doing it. I just I need to play more for sure. I want to play more because I only got that very brief hands-on. So
if you don't know what we're talking about, then maybe you shouldn't listen to the next segment, which is supposed to delight anybody born in the 80s and 90s. BRB.
But you're not gonna take what they've got to give, and you're not gonna let them take your will to live, because they've taken enough, and you've given them all you can give, and luck won't save them tonight.
TalkRadar.
We're on a collision course with wackiness.
Go to GamesRadar.com.
It's on the internets.
That's dumb.
End of Video Game Week here at Late Night, and it wouldn't be complete without a look at what's new in the world of Nintendo. Joining me is the president of Nintendo of America, Reggie Fils-Aimé, right here, everybody. How you doing? Nice to see you, buddy.
Great to see you.
Thanks for being here. Now, I'm a huge fan of Nintendo. What do we got? What are you going to show me today?
We're going to do a little Donkey Kong Country Return.
Oh, it's back.
It's back.
I'm very excited about this. Let's see what this does. Now, last time I played this was on N64.
Actually, we did 3 different versions that were on SNES, Super Nintendo.
Oh, yeah.
So first we got to bust out of the hut here.
Yeah.
And
hey, there he is.
There he is. So what's great about this version is for the first time we've got co-op play. So Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong playing together.
So I'm Diddy.
You're Diddy. What's also great is everything can be moved, right? We bust on things.
Where? I'm throwing stuff.
You're throwing stuff.
I'm throwing peanuts.
So everything in the environment.
How do I jump? Tell me how to do stuff.
How do I jump? You press on the A button.
Oh, okay.
Press on the A button to jump.
All right.
And just like a traditional Donkey Kong game, you got to get all the items, all the stuff. There you go. Very good.
So fun. I love it.
Very good.
I love this. Now I can jump in your back too, right?
You can jump on my back. You press B, but watch out. Watch out.
All right.
So press B, jump on my back.
Okay. Hey, there you go.
There you go.
Now what do I do?
Now from there you can shoot your pop gun.
And how do I do that?
Press B.
Oh my God.
See, we get all the items.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right.
No, wait. Hey, I gotta say, Nintendo DS is my favorite system, I think, out there. And I heard a rumor that there's a 3D Nintendo DS coming out. Is that true?
That is absolutely true.
And when is it coming out?
It's coming out next year. So
cannot wait for that.
We cannot wait, but maybe if the audience is excited enough and you're excited enough, maybe we have a little surprise for you.
Can I see it? Right here. Where?
Let me take this.
Let's see it.
So this is called the Nintendo 3DS.
Oh my God.
3D. And I've been watching the show, Jimmy. I know you did a little 3D yesterday.
Yeah, that's
With
right.
this 3D, no glasses required. Don't need to look funky wearing those glasses.
I did have glasses on yesterday.
You don't need the big expensive
You don't have
TV.
to buy an $8,000 television
Everything
set?
is right here. This is Kid Icarus.
Wait a sec, this is crazy. Now you guys can't see this, but it's crazy. It's in 3D. But how is this working?
So it's a special screen, and there's a little dial that you can dial.
How are you doing this? This is so cool. Oh my gosh, you've done it.
It's
of course.
sweet.
Of course, Nintendo would do it.
Of course, Nintendo would do it.
Oh my gosh, you've done it. Super rad. It's crazy. It's in 3D.
And it's one of your favorite franchises, Kid Icarus.
Kid Icarus, I love playing that. We got to collect all the hearts. I love this.
This is sweet.
Dude, this is sick. Can I keep this?
No.
My thanks to Reggie Fils-Aimé right here. Donkey Kong Country Returns is out in time for the holiday, exclusively for Nintendo Wii.
You stupid man.
Hey, does anybody want to listen to the rest of this motherfucking podcast?
Yeah!
Knuckle Drag Congo.
No.
Conga.
We're coming into
I
talk.
misread that.
We're talking into TalkRadar 103 with Nickelback, Michael. That's not a Nickelback song. What you're hearing now is two Nickelback songs put together that just happen to sound similar.
Oh, I see.
Nickelback, rock band. I know we're all very excited. Fuck E3, right?
Yeah.
Need. We got to cheer Henry. Henry.
Oh,
you know how
come
much?
on, I'm not.
No, I wanted to say, like, I did a sketch last week without you.
Uh-huh.
Everybody hated it compared to your Alan Wake sketch.
Oh, come on.
People want Tamors.
Well, if another game makes me laugh. Actually, I want to say that after I played more of Alan Wake, like, I wish I would have put Agent Nightingale in that sketch because I think he is so funny. Agent Nightingale, anytime he talks to Alan Wake, he will call him a different author's name. And it felt like it was just them trying to show off how well read they are.
Hey, what's up, Dr. Seuss?
You're not going to get out of here, Bret Easton Ellis. Stop right there, Dan Brown.
What are you talking about, James Joyce?
Hey, where you going there, Bill O'Reilly? Hell. Fuck it, game deals.
All right.
What? Might.
Save a little money for a rainy day.
Indeed.
What are you buying?
It's funny because Bill O'Reilly can't read.
But he sells. He sells more.
Best-selling writer.
He doesn't write those.
He can't.
He just signs an X.
He can't.
And they call it his.
Even that, or it's just like a bunch of, like, scrawl, here you go, make something happen.
I feel like I said this before, but I think Fox News employs Glenn Beck to make me like Bill O'Reilly more.
We can't get into this during game, only because there's a thread in the forum which I shouldn't have participated in about why are conservatives treated so poorly in gaming forums.
Jesus.
No, but I wasn't even. I'm not even trying to be mean. It's like it's just that conservatives have done the most to block games, and you can't really come in here like the oppressor and yell at the oppressed about politics.
That's one of the things. Let me get slightly political here. That's something I don't like about Democrats. Some Democrats, like Hillary Clinton, who would support fine arts, like they would support a Mapplethorpe photograph in somewhere, but they want to look strong on families, so they pick an easy scapegoat like games.
Yes.
And she worked with fucking Jack Thompson, who, like, a conservative nutcase.
I said Hillary's aside, but she did that because people who were going to vote for her will, unlike, with the exception of me, will not vote for her based on her stance on games.
Mm-hmm. And here's the other thing, though. Those people don't even know that the debate is happening, for the most part. It's like you ask your mom who Jack Thompson is, she's not going to know.
She's a big fan of Peninsula.
Maybe we should talk about game deals instead of
game deals.
I was just going to talk about how tragic it is that Bill O'Reilly can't read. But, you had to turn this into a thing.
I'm seeing $16 1,600 Microsoft point cards on Amazon and Walmart.
That's not bad. I should have bought one of those. Yeah.
They seem to be matching one another in several instances, including $20 game credit on Metroid Other M pre-orders, both Walmart and Amazon. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, good
deal. I might get that game then.
And I did see. Oh, here's the advantage. Amazon Wii games. No More Heroes 2 is $18. Okami.
Wow.
$14.
No More Heroes 2, $18, man.
Resident Evil.
Dark Side Chronicles?
4. Resident Evil 4.
Dark Side Chronicles.
Resident Evil 4.
That wasn't that bad.
Resident Evil 4 is, what do I see? Resident Evil 4 is $12. Mad World.
$3?
$2. No.
Is it still $8?
They pay you.
No, it's $6.90.
Wow, that is...
Hell no!
Jeez,
I'm sorry, Mad World.
I'm so glad they supported M-rated games on the Wii. It paid off for them.
I didn't bite them in the ass at all.
Ooh, here's your Singularity giving. You get Singularity to Amazon. You get $20 game credit.
Wow.
PS3 and 360.
It's not bad.
That might not still be active, but that's not totally important. I think it's anywhere you get Singularity on the 360. You go to prototypeoffer.singularity-thegame.com and you'll get Prototype for free.
Huh.
Prototype for free.
Why?
Why?
Are you on a list after you do that?
No, but I think it's the same thing that they did with Red Faction.
Well, they gave Red Faction away if you bought Darksiders.
It makes more sense for for Activision and what was the other THQ to ingrain these franchises in people, so that the sequels mean more.
Just like how they gave away Dragon Warrior.
So that's why I say if you what did I say about prototype? If you see a copyright symbol in the title, wait. It will go down in price because they want you to keep buying this.
Because they're already making Volume 2 or number 2 while they're working on it.
Yep. Steam's having a bunch of like daily sales that are like insane. Like, I think yesterday, like Left 4 Dead 1 is $5. Crazy. Just Cause 2 this Saturday should be 50% off.
Wow.
Saturday.
I saw that like for $38 or something last week.
I mean, it's already cheaper on a PC. So it should be down to like 25 bucks.
And I saw Xbox Live. They're pretty routinely now doing. Is that on your list?
Yeah. Well, just I don't know what it is, but like I know like PB Winterbottom is cheap as fuck this week.
Yeah, that's $5. Also, one of my favorite, like super underrated games, Defense Grid, is $5 as well. I love that. That's one of my favorite.
How much did you buy Chime for?
That was $5, so I think
that's discounted in half.
$3.
Yeah, it's like $2 or $3 now.
Yeah, Chime is totally. Chime was easily worth $5. Like it's really it's kind of a Lumines.
Lumines.
It's kind of a Lumines game that only has 4 songs, but the 4 songs are really good and $5. And it's for charity.
It's for charity. Cut 50% off of charity. This will make Elston very happy. The Final Fantasy 13 and Splinter Cell Conviction 360 bundles are $250
oh my God.
at Newegg with free shipping. Dante's Inferno PS3 is $29.99 at Go Hastings. And that makes up your game deals.
Take my advice, do as I say.
What are you?
Save a little money for a rainy day.
What are you?
Buying. This is what I want to get into. This was what I was excited about. Does anybody remember what our question of the week was last week?
I do.
What was it, Elston?
Question of the week last week in GamesRadar.com/forums. What's an old cartoon you'd like to see made into a new game?
Can I get you off that page for a second?
Sure.
Can you just close that iPad real quick?
Okay.
It's quiz time.
Oh.
It's quiz time based off of your responses. You have set up this quiz for everybody.
You being the readers. Listeners.
You being the
listeners.
That's right. You being the readers, listeners, have set up this contest.
I swear.
What cartoons you wanted to see made into games. I have gathered up a dick ton of your suggestions.
There's a lot.
Theme songs. And we are going to guess which theme song this is. I'm going to start you out with an easy one that is brought to you by All the Good Names Were Taken. Brett Elston, it is Thundercats.
Such a great intro. It gets me so pumped for
Look
the
at
show.
that, goosebumps.
A show that's terrible.
You want to date? Let's date ourselves even further. Lionel.
Yeah.
Anybody here watch The State? We played a couple State clips.
Yeah.
That is the woman on the show is Carrie Kinney from Reno 911. That's her dad.
Wow.
And he did all the voices on The State, like The State, Dios coming down, like that's Lionel.
Wow.
Whoa. I didn't know that.
Even more so, this is kind of known. That song's written by James Lipton.
What?
This song is written by James Lipton.
Seriously?
This song. Yeah. I used to write music before.
Oh, God. I love that opening, too. It's so well animated.
They blew their entire series budget on the opening.
None of the series looks like that.
No.
I don't even know if I have a buzzer noise, so maybe we're just going to have to say nobody's wrong.
Like whatever the new opening is for the new the Cartoon Network reimagining of Thundercats, it will be shittier than that.
Can't compare it
because they won't spend that much money on it.
The sword growing, like just the camera zooming out every time he said it, and the sword grew.
Thunder! Like just throws the sword around.
Thunder!
It will. The new one will look and feel like a cheap animated series made to make money, which that was too. For it definitely was, but like there's just something about that opening that was like, well, we should at least try for the opening.
all right. We don't have
so pumped.
All right.
This one comes to us from I'm just writing them Asher, Michael, MCC827, and F is for Fat. Who can tell me what this is?
Our world is in peril.
Captain Planet.
The spirit.
Brett Elston, that was really quick.
You're too fast.
That was really quick.
I had that on the tip of my tongue. Stupid Power of Love. That one's useless, man. But they always had to write episodes where he saved the day. Wheeler, you are foolish.
One of the recurring villains in Captain Planet.
I remember the guy who
Duke
looked
Nukem?
like an albino version of the Thing.
Duke Nukem is that guy you're talking about.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
His
Really?
name was Duke Nukem.
And there was the one
yeah.
who Sandra Bernhardt played. I forget her name. And there was Plunder. There was Plunder. I remember him too.
I just like remembering that Burgess Meredith is in the G.I. Joe movie.
There's a lot of people said G.I. Joe. I didn't grab it because I thought it was too easy.
Oh, did you see this very special episode of Captain Planet where it dealt with AIDS?
No.
Well, what?
A kid was diagnosed with AIDS from he got it from a blood transfusion,
Mm-hmm.
and then the story of the episode was just. There was a villain who loved to spread rumors and just wanted to ruin this kid's life by telling everyone how he had AIDS, and then the whole school hates him until the Planeteers step in and tell them about how they shouldn't be mean to AIDS.
Having
kids.
AIDS is totally cool.
It's 1988, so you should only be mean to the gay people with AIDS.
Yeah. Look, this kid has AIDS, but he's not a
Hey,
queer.
you hear that?
We're trying to have an edgy story here, but he's not gay.
Sorry about that.
a blood
Ted Turner
transfusion.
says
Blood
people with
transfusion.
AIDS are all right.
I remember when I remember when I was in the sixth grade and we watched a video on safe sex. Well, not safe sex, but
Safe
on
AIDS.
in general, on STDs and AIDS in general, and they sent out a thing to ask parents if they want their kids to see it because there's a point in it where a kid asks the parent like, I heard only gay people get AIDS. And then he's like, well, that's not necessarily true. And they were worried people were going to get
Not
mad.
necessarily true.
Well, they were worried parents were going to get mad that it didn't say, that's right, God gave the gays AIDS as punishment.
You can get it through a gay telephone.
He told me that in a press
You
release.
can get it from using a gay toilet.
Yeah, well, it was the same deal as them.
Or by kissing someone who is gay.
They are gayer but equal.
That was the same deal like they always had to say, like, no, you could hug them and even share a drink with them. You're not going to get the AIDS.
And here for our next question, it's brought to you by Mexiflan and several other people.
Freakazoid!
Henry Gilbert.
I love Freakazoid.
That is Freakazoid.
I never watched Freakazoid.
That's a good show.
Turbo Bison from PTFGN.
Everybody watched Freakazoid. That's why it's still on.
Pixel Heroes. It came out.
All these shows are still on.
It came out when I was done with cartoons, so I had to catch up on it later. Like, this is fucking awesome.
Yeah. I got the DVD of the first season
Really?
recently.
Like,
It holds up.
Like, it came out right when I was getting
That Archer character who's Charlton Heston is fucking awesome. Darn the luck. Darn the luck. God.
Because it was like the same time the Superman animated series was going, and I really liked that. So
Well, yeah, it was
what it was.
It was one of the first shows on when WB
We didn't have the
Kids
WB for
yeah.
years, and we lost Tiny Toons and Animaniacs. They were all gone for me overnight.
Hysteria.
Shit,
Well,
wait.
that's a bad one, but
I should shut up.
Oh god, Freakazoid had one of the best. Like they did a Johnny Quest parody like
God,
over a
so
decade before
fantastic.
Venture Brothers.
Just let me throw a barrel at it.
Yeah,
It just goes through the same barrel throwing animation over and over.
Turbo Bison sent me a clip. He's like, this guy sounds like Chris Antista on the podcast. Turbo Bison of Pixel Heroes podcast, PDFGN, PC Engine podcast. Do you remember the fanboy character?
yes, yeah.
Wow, Freakazoid, cool. Hey, I was just talking to Harlan on the internet, and I told him I hadn't seen a good cyberspace scene like this one since Tron, which is not the film that broke the bank at Disney in 1983, as some believe.
Right when he said that, I was like, I felt like Elson. Like, no, and then
No, Tron came out in 82, 3 years after Disney's The Black Hole, which was Movieland's equivalent to the Hindenburg. What a disaster! And the robots, they made R2-D2 look like Laurence Olivier.
Lock me up and throw away the key.
oh yeah, fanboy.
Yeah,
While
I
you're
love
wearing a
Fanboy.
Tron shirt.
I am wearing a Tron shirt.
I went as fanboy.
That you got at the Disney Museum.
Like in
Free.
'96 or whatever when that show was on. I went as fanboy for Halloween.
That is so. You still have the
because
same
it was-
haircut.
Yes, yeah. Thank you. No, his fanboy was easy. You just needed a red cape and then a white T-shirt with the F on it, and yeah. Nice. I saw a good episode. The other scene with him was where he meets Sulu on the street, George Takei, and then he's like, "Oh my God, you're my favorite character after Kirk, Scotty, Bones, Uhura, and Chekhov."
Oh, Star Trek humor that I barely get. This one comes from this next question. These are questions.
Okay.
Comes from
right.
Mexicutioner and Smegmal Insanity.
Whoa.
1,000 years ago.
Gargoyles! Wow, that was quick. It is Gargoyles.
It's a time of darkness.
Which I know because of so many Star Trek people in it.
We are defenders of the night.
We
are gargoyles.
Now the spell is broken, and we live again!
It's like, now that Next Generation is over, how many of you would like to come do a voice on Gargoyles?
Yeah,
we would all like to come.
They cast the entire show with Gargoyles, or the Gargoyles with next-gen people.
Good chunk.
All right, this one's a little more difficult, but it comes from Turbo Bison and RF Switchblade.
Ooh, I like that name.
Oh, SWAT Cats.
Holy
SWAT
shit!
Cats.
Wow. God, it's awesome.
That was such a good show.
Wow, I thought it was. I don't know. That was one that I was like, as a 13-year-old, I think this is stupid.
I don't know. I
never watched it.
I feel like tearing down derelict houses with my bare hands when I hear that.
No, yeah, like that's the age, like right at like 2-3 years younger than that is a totally different story. But yeah, for some reason I was like, we already have Ninja Turtles. We need cats, like tough talking cats with missile launchers.
Yeah, but that was the sad, like one of the last hurrahs of like the Hanna-Barbera days.
Well, that was when they first started doing original animation.
It was in between their what they
like
call cartoon stuff, which I don't want to spoil. But just when Cartoon Network had no original program, it was like Two Stupid Dogs.
Oh my God!
And I'm talking too much. I want to get into one that no one's going to get. I couldn't find this retro DSC. You know I love you, but the Dreamstone, some British animation thing. I looked at it. I don't remember. It didn't air here. It looks so great, but John Dagger said this. I love it so much. It's from the 60s.
Space travelers surround me, hark now to the ballad of Rocket Robin Hood.
You already heard the title.
Rocket Robin?
They will confound you, astound you, spellbound you with heroes and villains, the bad and the good.
This is the credits to Red Dead.
Rocket Robin Hood.
That sounds amazing.
Wow.
The 60s cartoon wasn't on Cartoon Network.
No, it's on a Hanna-Barbera cartoon, so they don't do none of that. Oh, God, this is going to be so fucking easy. So many people said this. I have written down SSJ4 Raditz, Ronan Talon, Batman 5273. Would like to see a serious quality game from this cartoon. What is it?
Oh, Voltron.
Thank you. Let me just hear the end of it. I took out all the characters' voices. I was trying to make it a little difficult. I tell you what. How about for kids not born in the 80s? Mm-hmm. Let's throw them a bone.
Why should we?
Let's throw them a bone.
You just did for Freakazoid.
You'll get this.
Turn to the past and undo the future that
that's Samurai Jack.
Samurai Jack, everybody.
Mako is not his name.
We were all tied up.
That actor.
Maybe. Well, I never watched that.
That guy's so good.
We are all tied up at the moment. That comes from Johnny Maverick and Mr. Suitman. That's the game they want to. I don't know why that didn't have a better game involved. Did it only have Game Boy Advance games?
No, it had a PS2 game that I got off our free table and have never bothered to play. So
I've always wanted to go back and watch it. What do you think? It still holds up?
The cartoon?
I've only really seen the pilot, and I thought that was pretty striking visually. I mean, it's kind of a ripoff of Frank Miller's Ronin, but not really.
Yeah, but like Frank Miller was super inspired by other stuff anyway. But
that's true.
This next question comes from 510 Brother Panda. Who can get this one?
Darkwing Duck.
Henry, it is completely Darkwing Duck. Let me just, I'm going to need to hear this a little bit.
Yeah. I'm almost a little embarrassed to hear it now. He's too tough. Oh, DW. Okay. So 90s. It's just like painfully dangerous.
Obviously, I didn't make any distinction whether this had an awesome game or not.
Yeah, the NES one was pretty good.
The Battle of the Mega Man 5 edge.
Yeah, it was excellent game.
It was a very good game.
I'm to this day embarrassed by the Darkwing Duck theme song because I remember it's maybe the most 90s thing I could have done. It was riding around the street on my bike, which was like every neon color that was going on.
Did your bike have a duck bill on it?
No, but like the handlebars were neon hot pink, and I was wearing it was this dark black with bright green and bright orange. All those early 90s just striking neon colors everywhere.
Pogo balls on the handlebars.
And my pants are like this swishy fabric with a bright neon streak down both sides, and I'm like riding down the street like singing the Darkwing Duck song as loud as I can, like
pumping your bike back and forth.
Yeah, back and forth, and I'm like, man, I hope every kid on the block hears what I'm singing because they're gonna ask to come out and play with me, and I'll be like, I'm too busy.
I think that was the apex of Disney Afternoon for me.
Yeah, that was the last one I cared about.
I think Bonkers followed that one.
Yeah,
it did.
I never watched.
But before that was Goof Troop.
Do you know what Bonkers was supposed to be? Goof Troop was after.
Yeah, I do.
Goof Troop was after Bonkers.
Bonkers was supposed to be Roger Rabbit.
I heard about that.
It was supposed to be Roger Rabbit.
It totally fits in.
The whole point of Roger Rabbit was to combine everybody in the cartoon universe, but even Disney wasn't cool with like throwing. I don't want fucking Alice in Wonderland in your stupid afternoon show.
Right.
Yeah.
Much less getting Bugs Bunny in here. Like there's no point now.
Right.
Well, and also Roger Rabbit, like ownership of him in general is kind of.
Oh yeah, Steven Spielberg and Disney did not get along after he went off to form DreamWorks.
Yeah, but I remember
the guy
also
who wrote the book.
There was an episode of Bonkers where Mickey Mouse was in it, but they couldn't show him or say his name. They just said the mouse, and then they had his voice, and they showed him in silhouette. And how can you not know it's Mickey? But their hands were tied like you weren't allowed to have Mickey on an afternoon on a TV show.
I know, and in the game, there's like 3 items you have to find, and it's like a green hat with a feather in it. There's a magic lamp, but none of these people are mentioned. You don't go to those levels.
Why can't? I mean, there was an Aladdin animated series. Why?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's stupid. Disney owns all those things.
There were definitely, there's definitely rights caught up here and there.
Then they kind of did shit like that with what was it, House of Mouse?
Yeah,
it's just like they recast like Mickey's a nightclub owner, and we'll just have all the Disney characters show up and do weird shit.
You're trying to get me started.
They even brought back Horace the horse.
Horse collar, Hank.
Whatever.
Actually, I've only seen about 5 minutes of that show, but it involved like somebody passing out and like some male character passing out and needing CPR, and then like, does anybody know CPR? And it like pans over to Prince John.
The phony King of England?
Yeah, and he like puts on lipstick and starts puckering up.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's still digging deep.
That's not historically accurate. Richard would be the one putting on the lipstick.
Oh, too true, Hank.
This is right. Richard the Lionheart was a gay boy.
Time may have embellished my memory of that somewhat. I don't know. Somebody may prove me wrong.
Look, I know everybody's going to get this, but what's awesome is that you'll get it at. I left in the company logo. You'll get it then. And then you'll get it in a second, but I need to hear the introduction. It would really help me out.
Oh, this is He-Man.
I told you.
That's film.
And the Masters of the Universe.
I am Matt.
I am
Adam, fabulous
Prince
powers.
of Eternia, defender of the
I am Adam.
secret powers.
I am Adam. Totally straight.
Is Cringer, my fearless friend. Fabulous secret powers revealed to me.
Oh my god! I didn't recognize that.
I was waiting for that this whole thing.
I haven't watched He-Man
I heard the
since I was
Filmation logo and like.
I haven't watched He-Man since I was probably like 8, so I didn't remember any of that.
Oh, the Filmation logo
and the
is
fabulous powers.
Hits me really, really crazy. 3 people. The sorceress.
Did you? I found this out recently that like. J. Michael Straczynski got his start writing for He-Man.
Oh my god! So did Paul Dini, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Well, and Crick Faluzzi, John Kay, he worked at Filmation.
I know that from the Best of DVD, which like is Best of He-Man is still the worst thing you've ever seen.
No, they're all horrible.
But what's great is they have these special features of these people who talk. Most of them never done anything else in their life of any importance. But then there's like Paul Dini on. He's like, God, it was fucking stupid. We got stupid memos saying Skeletor's too likable now, so he can't do evil things.
Right.
And so we have to invent we had to use new action figures to do evil shit.
Basically, they had to bring in Hordak because Skeletor wasn't really much of a bad guy anymore.
This one I probably wouldn't get. They say He-Man comes from Phazon 117. It did. Red Eater gave us this one, which I wouldn't recognize.
And Humanoids.
Wow,
that is good shit.
If you played that part, I would have gotten.
No, that's a show. Not only would it.
Who can stop him? Earth Core, I hope.
Yeah.
They played the same song during the toy commercials too.
Every G.I. Joe voice going to come on over and be the Humanoids would work so good because it's all about this war. It's almost Gears of War in a way, but there's this crack team of guys with a bunch of special tools going underground to fight this subterranean race of people who've been there the whole time, and
Yeah, but it's like there's these like three giant.
Yeah,
monster
there's three
guys.
giant ones where like Decomposed was a dude whose ribcage was exposed. He would grab people, put them in his chest, and it would rot them immediately.
That was I always wanted the shit out of that toy.
Wait, what year was this?
They were like they were huge. They were like a foot and a half tall.
Yeah, the toys of the actual Humanoids were really big, and then the rest
year
of the
was this?
It was 80s, like
80s?
87, 88.
Yeah. We were kids.
Oh, we were definitely kids.
Oh
yeah.
I had I feel
then there was
slightly.
The green one was named Tendril, and he was this giant green thing. He could barely even talk.
Looked kind of like Man-Thing or something.
Yeah, a little bit. And then the leader was this weird, like he had a silver breastplate on, but
it was like Magmar.
Yeah,
or something
like that.
He was the lamest one, and he was their leader.
He was their leader.
Was so disappointing.
And the only image in my mind is an episode where Magmar, let's say,
whatever,
which is a Pokemon.
It's probably not.
Can Earthcore stop this evil before it's too late?
Is a scene where he's hanging out in a volcano, and he's literally holding up giant-sized binoculars, looking out. Yes, they've got their front line coming at us.
Who made his binoculars?
But yeah, what company? But they had like all these neat little factions that weren't on either side, like these rock people and these weird tree. It was just this creepy world that was encroaching on humanity. But
I just remember like the threatening middle guys like menacing one of the heroes, like you should never have touched the amber human, because like the whole thing was like these monsters were broken out of this ancient amber.
Yeah. It was just such a cool idea, and the toys were cool, but it also would make a cool game because there's so many enemies to fight, very clearly defined bosses, but also around like 2001, I found a VHS tape of like the first hour and a half of episodes at a pawn shop, and I bought it because, well, why not? And I was fully expecting it to be terrible and watch it and be like, just like G.I. Joe, just like Transformers, the animated series that this shit was based on is terrible. And then we watched, like, me and 4 friends all sat around and watched it, and we're all like, this is actually good. Like
in Humanoids?
Yeah. Like it wasn't
Metlar, that was the guy's name.
Metlar.
Yeah.
It wasn't like amazing, oh my god, good, but it was like, no, the animation isn't shit. The story is actually coherent, and I'm not hating every second of this. Like, it's perfectly good.
I don't feel ashamed at my
I was not
self.
ashamed at all. I was like, no, that was, if I were a kid now, I would love this all over again.
I tell you what, the next question presented by Flying MX
and Humanoids
follows that because it's something you don't have to be ashamed of liking, and it's a little early in the 90s.
I come from the net, through systems, peoples, and cities, to this place. Mainframe.
Reboot?
That was Reboot,
Michael.
God.
I barely remember.
To men and to family.
That was beyond my time.
I was too old for Reboot. When I
Reboot was
first
one of those
saw it.
things where it's like, it started out kind of interesting, and then it got lame, and then it got really interesting, and then like they went through this whole like extremely dark reboot.
They took like 2 years off or something like that.
Yeah, they took like 2 years off, and then they came up and like the kid character was grown up, and he had like an eye patch and a beard, and he was like this hard-bitten bounty hunter, and the bad guys had taken over, and it was really fucking dark.
That is literally and strangely the exact same thing that Beast Wars did.
Wow.
It starts
Which were animated by the same company.
Yeah,
I
like
believe.
it was started off really cool, then got really dumb, and then got really cool again, and disappeared, came back as Beast Machines, and became really fucking weird and dark, where Megatron got everyone and run Cybertron, and then it started like slowly tying back into the animated series.
I just remember I saw an episode of Reboot where they referenced they had like a 5-minute scene that referenced Evil Dead 2, and as a kid I was like a teen who had just seen the Evil Dead trilogy. I was like, holy shit, they're doing this on a kid show? Oh my god. Now I'm very bored by Evil Dead references.
Poor reboot. That's like beyond Steamboat Willie looking dated.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Like it's got to look horrifying.
No, it
at
looks
this point.
It looks terrible.
I should think Beast Machines and Beast Wars looks that way too now.
You guys should get this. This comes from Metalhead 347, the cartoon from his childhood he wants to see made into a game.
Cowboy Bebop?
That is some Cowboy Bebop.
How young are these kids?
That is some Cowboy Bebop.
Fantastic.
They're young,
Fantastic
Henry.
theme
You were the
song.
one who was old. That's like the best thing about this show.
Well, no, the music is the best. Yeah, it had some of the best music.
I really got into this show though for a while.
I love Cowboy Bebop so much. They never had a bad episode either. Like
Yeah, it was good.
A lot of anime series, if you have 26 episodes, for their own budget's sake, they just do like, here's a couple filler ones. We need to save some money. But the show never really had any. Everyone mattered, I guess, or none of them mattered, or they didn't have an overarching plot.
I can't help but think of, for some reason, Cowboy Bebop and Outlaw Star are mixed in my head, even though Bebop is so much better than Outlaw Star. But I don't want to get into fucking anime.
How long is Cowboy Bebop?
26 episodes, and then one movie.
One movie. Yeah.
I have all the DVDs if you'd want to watch
Here's
them.
what I didn't
Then
mean to
again,
say.
I don't want to lose.
I didn't mean to say this. That's the only good thing about Cowboy Bebop, the music. This. Definitely, the only good thing about it is the music. The theme song.
Thundering across the stars.
Bar One Scorpio.
Galaxy Rangers. Monster minds.
Oh, Michael,
Jake
no.
searches for his father to unite the Magic Group and lead his Lightning League to victory over
Jason
the
the
changing
Wheel Warrior.
forms
That is
of
correct.
Sawboss.
He came back.
Wow.
Wheeled warriors explode into battle.
It's called Jason the Wheel Warriors and just Wheel Warriors. Here's
I love these fucking toys.
Those
they were
toys were
so
really-
stupid.
The toys were so fucking dumb.
Oh man, but they could stack on top of each other, and that
Yeah.
was sold as a feature.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the bad guys just had these little brains that would sit in their cockpits.
When I was half retarded and
they were like little green erasers.
and build Lego, I'd basically build a giant Lego skyscraper on wheels. And this room is the death room, and it's on wheels. So that's what Wheel Warriors was. Every room had a different attribute. Every car had a different attribute.
Well, the leader of the bad guys had a big saw on his.
Yeah,
on his-
and like the whole thing was that like the bad guys were like intelligent plants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wheel Warriors has a very special place for me, solely because I don't remember the cartoon hardly at all, but there's like there's a picture my parents took of me when I was, it's like Easter when I was 3, and it's me playing on the sidewalk with 2 Wheeled Warriors figures, and it's just a picture that's been in the same place in every house we've lived in my entire life. So it's like, every time it's like little 3-year-old me, Easter Sunday, playing with Wheeled Warriors on the sidewalk. Every time I'm like, I want to cry every time I see it.
My mom was really cheap, so I thought that's why I got Wheel Warriors. 'Cause horrible woman.
Just how innocent. I just want to play with these shitty toys on the sidewalk. Oh, come on.
Love it. Remember, I made a Halo video a long time
Yes,
ago,
I do
and
remember
I
that.
tried to put in the Wheel Warrior song, and it was removed.
I remember that.
I don't know if we're reaching the end of the list, but I was going to say, somebody say Dino Riders.
Hank, don't suggest things until they. I don't want to. I don't want to ruin the contest, but no one said that.
Dino Riders and Dino Saucers.
I forgot about Dino Riders.
Dino Saucers. I don't like that show.
Dino Riders.
Dino Riders
is
really.
cool.
I have 2 of the tapes that they released. Still.
Yeah, the tapes that had commercials
in them. With Tyco.
What?
They were Tyco products.
Yeah,
They had commercials in
in between. Yeah, commercials for the
from Tyco, of course.
So it flows.
These
well.
split with the Lego box.
Yes.
Wow.
I had the T-Rex Dino Riders toy, which I swear is the basis of Rex. Like he's like the T-Rex of Dino Riders looks just like Rex from Toy Story, except a little less
Oh
cartoonish.
yeah, it is very similar.
Oh.
Yeah.
That weird proportion.
Yeah,
the head
proportion.
is very similar.
Yeah, no, just
The head has these dead eyes that just look terrible.
Inconceivable. That's my impression.
That's good.
Speaking of Dino Riders, that's a good transition into our next one. That was Bar One Scorpio, brought us Jason the Wheel Warriors. This is brought to us by Raven Bomb. Dino Riders, keep that in mind.
Okay.
Hey, this Smurfs.
Yes, I was trying to throw you off the scent.
Okay.
It's like Peter Pan and the Pirates, is it?
No. No, but somebody did suggest the Pirates of Dark Water, but I couldn't remember the theme song well enough. But did anybody see the trailer for the new Smurfs movie?
Yeah,
oh my god!
That sure looks great.
What song was it? Wild Thing is going to be
Wild. Well, no, they mix Wild Thing with La 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 La.
What I want to know about this fucking Smurfs movie and about most kids' movies in general these days is like, okay, the plot is the Smurfs get transported from their magical world into Central Park, and Gargamel chases them into the modern world.
Why? That what it is?
Yes. Oh. Why? Can you just not leave the fiction alone? Why is it that characters always have to go to fucking New York and that's your movie?
Because that's the easiest place to shoot, I guess.
I guess
it worked for the He-Man movie.
It's just so
that's
easy.
true, exactly.
No, it did not.
And Garfield.
Fish out of water stories are easy to
I'm
write.
not saying it's true that it worked. I'm just saying it's true that they did that, and it was another lame cop-out. What's wrong with just making a fantasy movie?
Well,
exactly.
in the 80s...
What if Never-Ending Story had been about Atreyu coming to New York?
The third one was about...
don't remind me. Don't remind me. Fucking Jack Black. Yes, I know, as a school bully.
In the 80s to make...
Wow, he's super mad
I know. I'm so happy.
In the 80s to make an Eternia, a live-action Eternia, would have been way too expensive.
I believe the word is...
To hire a He-Man that could speak English was way too expensive.
They didn't have CG to cop out of special effects.
No,
because, creating a decent Eternia stand-in in Never-Ending Story was just too difficult.
Big burn. Well, that was technically a foreign film.
Have they run out of...
Go to the IMDb and look it up, and it's the German title. It's a German movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Never-Ending Story?
Never-Ending Story, which they're...
Das Story Never Ending.
I knew that the book was German. But
yeah.
Written by Michael Ende.
Yeah, I actually... Because I really suck, and I have no life, and I'm a dork, and nobody loves me. I spent an entire night trying to figure out where I could find Falcor. Like the real Falcor.
It's in Germany.
It's in Germany.
They still have the prop?
Yeah.
They didn't destroy it?
No, you can actually get on it and everything. It's in a museum. Really, really like to get on that Falcor.
I'm just saying, I feel... I'm so sad of just everything is getting remade. It's just...
we just feel older because that happened to everybody else too. And what I hate about the Smurfs thing is that's what I sort of resented about Transformers the game, is that we're a demographic and we have kids and we want to take our kids to something like, I used to watch Smurfs.
Right.
I used to fucking love Smurfs. I used to think I really wanted to fuck Smurfette before I knew how to fuck anything. It makes me so mad.
Why did you drag out every word in that sentence?
Because I'm fucking ashamed, and I deserve it. I deserve it for being such a shithead little kid with horrible crushes. Just because I was so hurt finding out Big Bird was a man and not a lady. That was my first crush. What the fuck?
And then Birdo and...
Birdo.
What was the pink puppet from Sesame Street? With the yellow hair?
Oh, Prairie Dawn?
Prairie Dawn.
Oh, she's good looking.
I never liked Smurfs as a kid. It wasn't actiony enough. It was just...
Yeah, I thought it was too boring.
They're mammals! That's
just an egg-laying species!
He has a beard!
I just read
it's
about...
one female servicing in a civilization of males!
I just read about how the...
Hope everyone's watching Venture Brothers.
The first zombie comic book was a Smurfs comic.
You know? Yeah, the Peyo cartoon.
Yes, that actually predated Night of the Living Dead.
Yeah.
Wow, what the fuck, really?
Yeah, and that is actually, some people point to it as the origin of the idea of a zombie plague.
The Smurfs.
Yes.
There was a comic?
Yes.
Yeah, there's
the Smurfs are that old. Like, I thought they premiered like 10 years before the movie did, the Magic Flute movie.
What?
The Smurfs premiered in a movie, like a Norwegian...
They were a comic strip.
Yeah, they were.
No, they were, but they
60s.
premiered it... Well, no. They premiered the comic, and like they were so popular 10 years later, because Pee-wee... The character Pee-wee is what the comic was based around, not the Smurfs.
What the hell are you talking about?
Who's Pee-wee?
He's the human character, the human kid. It was all about him, and he encountered the Smurfs, and they became very popular.
Right.
Pee-wee the Magic Flute, and now it's just called the Smurfs and the Magic Flute in America.
All right.
I hadn't heard of that.
But it's old as shit.
But anyway, yeah, it's the there's like this plague that spreads among the Smurfs, and it like turns them black and like really aggressive, and the black Smurfs will bite the healthy Smurfs, and that's how the disease is transmitted. And apparently, the whole thing climaxes with like a small band of survivors being surrounded, like boarding themselves up in a house that's surrounded by all these black Smurfs.
Except because it's Smurf land.
Papa Smurf!
There is an
There's
antidote.
zombies coming for Papa Smurf!
There is an antidote, and they end up saved in the end.
Oh, thank goodness.
But it does end with like
Did one of
Papa
them tell?
Smurf
Did one
is-
of them tell Lady Smurf the antidote is fucking?
No,
Look, it's the last chance for survival.
Papa Smurf was the last survivor, though.
He's Optimus Prime of Smurfs.
Though, did you one of my favorite Smurf joke scenes is in Donnie Darko, where the guys like are talking about how much they want to have sex with Smurfette, and they're like, oh, man, I bet Pop Smurf's with him all the time. He's like, you idiots, Gargamel created her and put her in there, but she loved the Smurf world too much to...
Yeah, the Smurfs were so pure that they
Weren't
changed
pure.
her heart.
Papa Smurfette was forcibly Smurf. Wow.
That's a pretty good
Brady.
I don't have the vocal effects
You
on
should,
me.
oh man, the Robot Chicken commentaries they have a few
Is
that
it
are
the
really
same
awesome.
voice?
Well, no, they got the real Brainy because the voice actor, this is the stuff you find out from the Robot Chicken commentaries, because they have on these old voice actors, and like they had the Brainy voice actor who he said that he got it because he was a talent agent for kid actors, which is how Seth Green knew him. And so then they just asked him like, hey, do Brainy on our show. And so the same deal, they had on the guy who was Duke on G.I. Joe. And it was funny because he's like a super Hollywood liberal talking about like, oh, I can't believe I did G.I. Joe selling Reagan's America to children.
Blowing up robots from dusk till dawn. Oh.
Battle Android Trooper.
Oh my God! Did we really talk that much about Smurfs?
Yes, we did. Sadly, yes.
Then this is going to be even better. This comes from 8-Bit Baby.
It's Gummy Bears.
That's Gummy Bears. Gummy
Once
Bears.
again, I am ashamed that I know that.
Gummy Bears could make a kick-ass game because you have a bunch of different characters who all have the same superpower. Bouncing.
They already made that game. It's called Super Mario Bros.
All right. God, dude, I haven't seen the last episode for a while, but I just read about it, and it's about all the gummy bears coming back to the forest. Yeah, like they were all kind of banished. And the 7 we saw, the cubby, the girl.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm out. No more gummy bears.
Actually, Gummy Bears is at the heart of a very embarrassing story from my childhood.
Let's hear that.
All right, so when I was in, I think, 2nd or 3rd grade, I got to go to this like young authors thing that my school sent me to, and along with a couple other kids. And the highlight of this was a presentation by Mike Thaler, who's a children's book author, who is my favorite author at the time.
What did he write?
Cream of Creature from the school cafeteria.
You had a favorite author in 2nd grade?
Yeah.
Nerd.
Yeah.
I'm trying.
Really? Yeah.
Yes.
So anyway, he just, starts showing how you can turn any word into a pig pun, any word that starts with, ig, and like he asks the audience to start throwing out words, and, a couple of people come up like ignition and pignition, things like that. And so I just blurt out the first thing that pops into my head, which is Igthorn. And he's like, what's I don't know what that is. What's that? And some kid in the back starts screaming, "It's from Gummy Bears!" Like everyone I'm sitting around just turns very slowly and stares.
Yo, this fucker likes gummy bears.
Exactly.
He doesn't even know about DuckTales yet. Man, that's
I was gonna say
DuckTales didn't exist yet.
I was gonna say Gummy Bears was before.
It's technically the first.
Gummy Bears started Disney.
And after,
Afternoon.
I always viewed it as like it's before.
There was a bunch of
DuckTales.
made-for-video Winnie the Pooh shit that got run on Saturday mornings, but
yeah, I remember those.
Yeah, I never got that into Gummy Bears because of I got so into DuckTales, and I was like, that's the old cartoon.
I gotta say that wasn't in game deals, but that's.
Take my advice.
Costco has all the Disney Afternoon shit
I saw that.
for every volume for $8.
Wow,
that's not bad.
It's ridiculous. It's like 40 episodes for $8 of Tailspin,
pretty
Darkwing Duck.
And how much am I
DuckTales.
really going to watch Tailspin?
I bought the first DuckTales one only because the first 5 episodes are kind of cool, and that's where the intro comes from.
Oh yeah. That's a good. Them running into.
But that's the thing. Like even if I'm not going to watch it, that's not a bad price to have around.
I remember a childhood argument over Tailspin, which was So in Marvel Comics in '92, the character Carnage first appeared. But we didn't know how to pronounce it. It just says Carnage on the page. And I said, that's Carnage. And then they're like, no, it's Carnage, because the character in Tailspin is Don Carnage.
Yeah.
I was like, no, it's not. But I got shouted down at the YMCA that day.
You totally have to hurry.
Yeah, well,
they said it on TV. That means that's the right pronunciation.
Are you plugged in?
Power.
Anyway, let's try and hurry it along. I have 20 minutes. 20 minutes.
Sorry, you get it. You start talking about 80s.
But I know. That's
shows.
That's what I say. I needed you here.
Do you need an adapter? I could probably
I
get you one.
do.
All right, should everyone get one?
I do. I don't want Michael here for this one because he's going to get this easy.
Okay.
Easy. You would get this so fucking easy. You would probably be able to tell you would be able to tell who wrote it. All right.
All right, let's hear this shit. Do it. It's the Pink Panther.
Yeah,
it's the fucking Pink Panther. Told you. I told you. Fine. You happy? Pink Panther. Michael Noyes.
Theme too?
Michael Noyes. Yes, the Pink Panther. But that was brought to us by Lava Lamp and Cheburashka. Cheburashka?
Is it Cheburashka or Cheburashka?
All right, we'll get to the end of this, and then we'll come back and do phone calls.
All right.
Saw Curry's Good had Cat Dog, but I couldn't find the song.
Out of all the Nicktoons, Cat Dog.
I remember being at a video store, and some lady was shopping next to me and was like, picked up a Cat Dog tape off the rack and was like, that ignorant cat dog.
What? These cat dogs are playing cat guy.
I don't think ignorant's the word you meant. Like,
would that be tack god?
This is offensively ironic. That's what's happening
right next
here.
to the copy of the negotiator.
All right. All right.
I'll date it to somebody.
This question comes from Twathammer. New user.
All right.
What do you do with a twat hammer?
It's totally Beavis and Butthead. And who did have a game with great GWAR music. GWAR music.
Had a couple different games.
Well, the Genesis one has like all the good GWAR music.
Yeah. I think GWAR is actually in the game.
They are in the game.
Kind of awesome.
You have to find tickets to the GWAR game. This one, let me see who can get this one.
Be cool.
Love this. Slow build. Henry's perking up.
I know, it feels important.
Oh, Mask! It's totally Mask.
Dude, Mask would be such a good fucking game.
Yeah.
Every one of those cars can transform and do shit.
Why didn't we do this as an article?
It was the first time, like, Mom, Dad, why can't I have this toy? Because you'll hurt your sister. And then my aunt brought home, like, fucking green, like, 57 Chevy from Mask.
Oh, yeah.
And I hit the back bumper, and I fired up the stupid tire, and hit my stupid sister, who I didn't even know was there, right in the eye. It's never allowed to have toys.
I think the peak of that was, the point where it was like, okay, even as a 4-year-old, this is too much, was the van that split in half and a volcano came out of it.
Oh, yes.
But the one that I saw as a kid was the motorcycle that had the little helicopter propeller.
I was
like,
one.
you're blowing my mind. How can a helicopter have a...
Though,
Man,
Robot Chicken had like the definitive Mask joke, which was like they just felt like they had to have a Mask sketch, and then they're like, this is... And it's all about just how stupid Mask is, really, because they're like, cars that transform into things that are worse than they were before. And then also they just have a scene of, like, somebody picking up a thing, like, who left their mask on the floor? Also, this isn't a mask. This is a helmet. And then they just stare into the screen for a second.
I had so many of those things. I found a bunch of them the last time I went to my parents' house. I'm like, what do I do with these? They're so cool, but I don't want them.
Did the toys come with the giant stickers? I moved a bookshelf out of my room, and it was covered in Mask stickers, like more than I remember having.
Yeah, they probably did.
Yeah. Like big stickers, like
right.
The
like
only
baseball
Mask
size.
toy I had was the helicopter motorcycle.
Super cool.
Kids, hold on to the. We're gonna move right back into the 90s. This one comes to us. We're almost done. Taint by Numbers.
Space Ghost.
Completely Space Ghost. I should say that Mask came from 435.
Oh, yeah.
Space Ghost Coast to Coast is quaint now compared to regular Adult Swim.
Yeah, but I loved it. It's still so fucking funny, and I still don't know how they interview those people to get that response out of them.
It's magical. It really is. I love that. I love that show so much.
I love this intro too.
Yeah. Sonny Sharrock, I think is the name of the guy who did the song. They did a whole episode about him.
Hank, you'll like this one, but it's a little difficult.
All right.
Oh, I know this.
Oh, it's The Tick.
Yeah.
That is a Tick.
That was a great show, too.
We'll keep moving along.
I still think just the name Batman Well is so
Batman Well.
Perfect. That was from the live-action one.
The
Fledermaus was the animated equivalent.
The Fledermaus.
Was Batman Well?
Batman Well was played by Nestor Carbonell, who went on to play what's his face?
The mayor in
in Lost.
In Lost, but he was also the mayor in Dark Knight. He played a Batman parody and starred in Dark Knight.
Yeah,
Ha!
That was so weird.
This is two more. Comes from El Pork, who was somehow banned. Who banned El Pork?
Wasn't me. Oh, Powerpuff Girls.
It is totally Powerpuff Girls.
I've watched a lot of cartoons.
I hear El Pork doesn't think awkward pauses are funny.
What he likes other stuff.
Which El Pork?
El Pork. He doesn't think awkward pauses are funny.
Why?
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No.
I thought you were going to say why.
No.
I just don't want to stop. If he thinks they're awkward, I don't want to get caught in one.
Well, the last thing I want to do is be awkward.
Yeah.
Well, then maybe Michael should finish.
You guys go ahead.
I don't want to intrude.
Oh,
It's like, wow, a Twitter joke gone too far. Gone too far. El Pork twittered something about not liking awkward pauses.
Oh, you guys took it and ran with it. I thought that was much better.
And this is the last one ever. Sausage Lodge. You were all tied, by the way. I've been keeping score.
This is the decider.
You're all tied. Sausage Lodges. Sauce had a couple beers. Hey, we had a company meeting. I had 2 beers at the meeting at 4. I'm on my 7th. Sausage lozenge. It's very hard to say.
It's a tough word when you're drunk.
Jam.
Henry is our winner. Henry, take a victory lap.
Truly outrageous. Truly outrageous.
Contagious, right?
And she fought. Fought the Misfits.
I think they'll talk about them.
We are the Misfits. The songs are better. Misfits, we're gonna get it. Oh,
can you imagine the Transformers song if like the Decepticons got a turn to sing and they say this side? It'd be amazing.
All right, for bonus points, name the other 3 shows that was. No, was it 2 shows that was packaged with?
It was a package with Inhumanoids.
Oh, shit, it was on USA.
That's one. There's 2 more.
Wasn't it with glowworms? I thought it was with glow. No, that was My Little Ponies and glowworms. Yeah. I don't remember.
Bigfoot and robotics.
Oh wow, man!
Bigfoot isn't like the
is in the monster truck.
Yes, great.
Oh man, I remember.
It got its own cartoon series.
I saw in the list. I saw 2 different my 2 most hated shows of the '90s. I swear, someone said Extreme Dinosaurs, which I watched every day of junior year in the morning because I was just totally captivated by how awful this cartoon was. And then Extreme Ghostbusters, which was one of the dumbest openings.
Oh, excuse me. I had that collected. I won't play it unless you really want me to.
It's just like...
But I have it.
Have you guys heard of this alternative music? What if we had a bunch of affirmative action Ghostbusters?
What did I do with that?
There's a guy in a wheelchair.
I have.
There's a goth
Somebody
girl.
suggested, several people requested Extreme Ghostbusters.
Oh my god, this song.
It's still kind of a cool guitar riff.
No, that's cool, but the lyrics are just, they drive me up the wall. And the distortion. Busted makes me feel good. It's just too much.
What's the next question of the week? Can we do phone calls next week?
We talked
too long.
for so long
And
about
Street Sharks.
our stupid child.
So many people said Street Sharks. They said at the very beginning when I was like, Street Sharks had a game. Let it go. Bucky O'Hare had a game.
Really good game for NES.
Oh, God.
Oh, but I played all these. Smurfs had a game.
You think we were more obsessed with talking about our childhood now because we saw Toy Story 3?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait, well, hold on. What's the question of the week? Can we answer real quick?
Just say, what's your game of the year of 2009 so
far?
That's a good one. That's great.
That's the question of the week. What is it, Elston?
Flashing back to the top 7, we talked about what our best game of the year so far is, and that will turn it to you. What is your game of the year 2010 so far? We said Red Dead Redemption.
Hurry, my battery's going dead.
Battery's running dead. We'll get to phone calls next week.
I'm sorry.
We keep running out of time, but
Smurfs were too interesting.
Smurfs, man. GamesRadar.com/forums. And the phone number again is 1-877-404-1337. You can see us there. We'll be at Comic-Con. We'll be at PAX. Everybody's having a good time. Bye.
I got 7 minutes. No, but
what's taking us out?
Wait, we're going to do the question of the week.
Oh, mine's Bayonetta. Yours is Mario Galaxy. Yours is Mass Effect 2. And yours is Red Dead Redemption.
Yes. Yeah, mine's Mass Effect 2.
Did I get it? Did I get everybody's?
Yeah.
Wow, good for me.
What was yours?
Henry,
you know us pretty well.
You were saying something about what we were just talking about in relation to Toy Story 3.
Well, no,
please.
I was just saying that maybe we're all extra nostalgic because we'd all seen Toy Story 3 recently.
Which, if you haven't seen, sort of hurts.
It's sad, man.
It's sad.
Oh, God.
For the very reason we're sitting here doing this. It's very sad.
We're sad man children.
Yeah. You'll be sad eventually.
I don't know about that, but I can see why a lot of people, a couple of geeky people, didn't like it.
Yeah. Because we still have toys on our desks. We didn't get rid of our toys.
Yes.
I don't want to.
We didn't have to.
Fantastically bored watching us work all day.
We didn't have to. But in that respect,
they never leave. We can't.
Again,
dude, all the toys on my shelf. Hats off for always maintaining that same pose every time I walk
come
back.
on. Well, really though, if we're going to live in the Toy Story world in our minds, all our toys have a lot of fun together when we're gone.
That's true. They just want to be played with,
or
which Elston will never let happen.
Never. No, I played with all of them. I gave them one last play before I moved out here.
Miserable
As a 25-year-old, they got one more out of me.
Like, this is a terrible reference, but if this were Toy Story, you're like the Great Santini. Like, everybody's afraid to talk to you and touch you, or you have to smack them and make fun. Good, bad reference. Toy Story 3. I'm taking all of us out with Pogo, who's hired by Pixar. Who's done the Bangarang song and the Alice in Wonderland micro mixes. He did a great mix of Toy Story 3.
And the video was just as good as the song.
It's fantastic. See you next week. More phone calls, I promise.
Over in that house is a kid who thinks you are the greatest, and it's not because you're a Space Ranger, pal.
All right, everyone.
you.